Okay, welcome to another very special episode of the Survivors of Tarnstead. This week, I don't know, boat travel maybe. Let's go ahead and start with the introductions as per usual. We have Kronos as,
RG Thal.
Hadden as,
Tholdir Forgehammer.
Marcus as,
Corvus Adolas.
Semi as,
Gifton Brotgren.
Tobias as.
Caspia Pierce Steel Shot.
That was very smooth, actually, for the usual thing. Well done. Have an inspiration.
Hey.
And we would have.
Wait, who got that?
Toby did. We have Blackheart as Carrick Mask, who will be joining us shortly, but is mysteriously gone, probably slaughtering a cow to make a burger or something. We don't know.
There's only one person who joins us shortly.
Sam, yeah.
Oh,
But the joke being that Sam's very short. And me, Ali, as the DM.
That went over my head.
Super friendly.
so
A lot of
high.
things to do.
Who would like to give us a recap?
I'll do it. I haven't tortured myself enough today.
Okay, you go for it, Faldir. I believe in you.
All right. So we last session continued our journey back, and we arrived back in Dolewood, and got to have some fun breakdown of the situation for a few people. We talked to the Shire Reeve. Ended up introducing him to the goblins. He was so happy to see them. As everyone in this town really has been welcoming open arms for the goblins. The Shire Reeve outlined a few options for us in terms of where we could go from here, acknowledging that we could head off to realizing that we could head off to a few different communities. We could try and stop the Goliath attack, or we could try to go after Father Aurel, or we could do a third thing, like go south. Or we could go hunting again, I suppose. Thaldir explained that we'll think about it. Then we went and saw the Capes. They were not the happiest that the goblins happened to be in Cape Blue.
My fault.
Especially the elder brother. In fact, the youngest brother seemed to actually find it quite enjoyable when he found out later. But we also talked to them and confirmed that, yes, we do have some options. It was suggested by them, or that they would be happy if we would go after Father Aurel and either bring him back alive or at least bring them back the head. And once again, it was said that we would think about our options and get back to them. They did offer to lend a ship if we would like that. So we may be able to use a ship if we accept their offer. And also some fun conversations seem to be on the horizon, such as Gifton will probably have to talk to her father. There was mention of some people talking to him.
What if we just leave?
And yeah, the goblins seem not the happiest to be here. And no one seems to really like them.
Okay. Thank you, Hadden. Couldn't you've extended it by another 10 minutes? Yeah, I'll see if
All right, so if you recall,
take your inspiration.
Yay!
Okay. So, um, we had left off with you guys just leaving the Capes, I believe.
Yeah, I think we were kind of gathering
Milling
up outside
about,
the cafes.
yeah.
They ran out and gave us stuff, and Carrick had rejoined us from his amazing conversation with his grandmother.
Yes.
And we did discuss probably staying at the Lantern Light.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little past midday now. Probably about 2 p.m. ish. What would you guys like to do?
Cass is
Are you
going
guys hungry?
shopping, and I'm going to send you a list of what I'm looking for real quick.
Okay.
As soon as I can find your name on my list of people.
Bye, Cassie.
So does
So
Cassie
Cass is just
take off?
trotting off.
And Cass is also, after shopping, going to go over to the Temple of Oran.
Alright.
Oh, you're just
All
leaving
right.
that for everybody, eh?
Oh, nah, that was supposed to go straight to Allie.
Where is
Well,
it?
it went to
It
everybody.
went into the general chat and the other.
Ah.
I think it's getting
There.
shifted around.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
Just thought I'd mention that.
Also, good on you having a shopping list.
Oh no, the one thing I meant to grab while I was out was milk.
No, no.
It's the one thing I forgot to buy. I think that's how shopping lists work, right?
I thought you were being serious. For a second.
So are you heading off
No,
on your
I'll-
own to go get these things, Cass?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll see Cass starting to trot on off. Apparently on a mission.
Well,
Bye.
bye.
I
I
got
suppose.
something to do.
Suppose we'll find her later. And if anyone has anything else they'd like to do without the rest of us, now would probably be a good time.
No, but I was going to say I would probably see about getting some additional armor. This leather's getting a little tattered.
And okay, and I'm reading the length of that you want, right, Cass?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done my research on it. That's how much I need to make that many items.
Okie dokie. 1 second.
I don't
Ponders.
think you can raise a small forest.
I'm willing to trade a tree if need be.
Right,
I don't
Cass.
have it.
You can get the javelins and hand axes just fine.
Okay?
The plate, if you actually go to the garrison, yep, you can requisition that. You'll get 100 gold off of the price.
Okay.
And the cloth will cost you for that amount 500 gold pieces in total.
Oh,
Ooh.
jeez.
Yeah, that's a lot of cloth.
For that's just to make 5 scarves.
You've
So-
requested
1,000
1,000 yards.
Yeah, everything I've been reading says it takes 200 yards of
No, in
yarn.
D&D, Toby, it's not that way. They have it simplified.
Oh, okay.
So you don't you
So-
only are gonna need, you're only gonna need about 1 unit per scarf probably
Yeah,
or less.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
In which case, it's 5 silver pieces apiece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because this is what I ran into when I first started doing the tailoring. Is I went, oh my god, do you know how much like silk it takes to make one thing? Nothing compared.
Yeah. There's a
Okay.
good reason we're running with simplified rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will buy enough.
Yeah, so like
for
three gold
many scar-
total.
I will spend about 10 buying materials.
Okay.
Just to give me
Yeah.
a lot of surplus.
You're able to do that just fine. All in all, it's going to take you about an hour to go around town and collect all of these different things.
Okay. So that's what I shall do. I shall go shopping.
Right. Back to the party
And-
deliberations.
Thank you.
No worries.
But yes, I was thinking about getting some more robust leathers, something more of my profession, I suppose. Like what would it be called? Surgeon's apron.
Oh, I was gonna say you should get a nice set of lacquered like I got. It's really good.
Well, that's what a surgeon's aprons would be. The heavy duty, typically waxed. So
Doesn't that just protect you on the front?
there may be some modifications, and I may be suggesting to the worker.
What if
It
you
may
put
take
a
some time.
surgeon apron on the front and the back?
It'd be like a split leg dress.
And put it over your arms as well.
Yeah,
at
just
the
get a split leg
sides.
dress.
Some
Well,
sort of surgeon apron octopus.
Yeah.
it would be fairly fitting for you.
Funny thought, yeah. But
No, I mean,
yes.
they should make it fit for you.
Yeah. But if there was any other request, I could maybe see about getting some other people some items while I'm out.
I need to get some leather just for crafting with, but I mean, I could probably get that anywhere.
Well, if there's some scrap leather at the Amaris, I suppose I could maybe request some for you.
Scrap?
Well, I don't think they're going to sell a full sheet.
Oh, well, I mean, I need to go to a proper tannery and get a bunch of leather for me to work it. Cause or were we gonna get metal? Look over at Care. Did they say if they wanted you to make the armor? I mean, I'm gonna need to make the bindings and stuff for it, right? For the straps.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the.
I suppose if I'm going to be doing stuff, maybe we should stock up in general.
Yeah. Is it alright if we maybe go around as a little shopping trip and get some metal and some leather, and we can stop by the shops together? Is that okay?
I
Kind of
see
look at everybody else.
I
I
see
just
no-
like, sure. I mean, I don't need anything, but yeah.
The gobbo suddenly
Well-
looked very alarmed.
I
Kobolds?
think
When
you
did we get
ma-
kobolds?
No,
Kobolds.
gobbos.
Say gobos.
Oh, I thought you said kobolds. My
You
brain's in
definitely said
another game right
gobos.
now. Yeah, that's actually true. Maybe we should just go move the cart first and get that set up. Would that be better for you, Yes and Kex?
Yes.
How
Yeah.
about I take the two of them with me? I'll pick up the cart and see about moving it. The rest of you can go shopping.
Were we going to meet at the lantern, Thadia?
If there's space. If not, I'll find you.
The goblins very rapidly move over to you, Faldir, and one takes hold of each hand.
I'll
That
try
looks
and get
adorable.
rooms for each of you, if possible.
I want a double bed.
Yes, you do.
No, I'll probably sleep in the wagon.
So much
Don't
room
worry
for
about getting me a
activities.
It's like a whole
bed.
arena.
Hey, Kara, it's probably just easier for you to stay in the wagon tonight.
Well, it's certainly comfortable. Made it cozy.
Yeah, I mean, other than the
Isn't-
big in room, right?
Yeah. Well,
Isn't that like your house now, Zoe?
It's kind of where we live, yeah.
mm-hmm.
Huh.
And no,
It's actually a bit nicer than the bit of space we had under the Riley farm. I don't remember what your place was like. I never got to go over to the Gray Steels.
it was practical.
Hmm.
Yeah, not quite as cozy.
Yeah.
How
Well, if
did
Falkir's
you
being so generous, well, what?
how did you all live in Tarnstead?
Mostly in the walls and the floorboards.
Yes, a few braver ones up in the rafters of places. You big folk were pretty blind to it all.
I slept on the floor of the kitchen table.
We
It's not-
appreciated that.
I mean, I stopped going upstairs.
Yeah.
So did you make like little homes in those areas, or just kind of furnish it?
Depended on the family. A lot of them decided that, if the humans and the elves weren't going to peek about too often, then it was fairly safe to actually, make it feel homely. Some of the more paranoid ones,
Honeyfoots.
yeah,
Mm,
not so much.
yeah.
Interesting.
And those would also have been in some of the houses that had been there for longer, had more established setups usually.
Yeah.
Oh, we can go do the shopping. That would probably be
Meep.
good.
Scotch egg.
Yeah. Oh, also, can we go? If we can swing by the King's Mercy for dinner, that might not be bad. I bet you they make Scotch eggs there now.
Probably. I'd like to go there.
For reasons.
Yeah. Yes, for reasons.
The
Actually, speaking of that, do we want to Thaldir, do you want to? Are you planning on wanting to go to the King's Mercy?
I could meet you there if that's what you want.
Maybe for dinner tonight if you see Cass.
If I see Cass, yes.
All right.
she's following other
So we'll meet at the
proficiencies.
King's Mercy, and then if not, we'll see you at the Lantern Light.
Indeed.
All right.
And Carrick does a thing as well.
Eric decides where he's going. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Team Boop, I too would like to go with group for
Yeah.
things.
Or
but
possibly to other place.
me and Care were basically offering to do labor to make barding for people to help lower the cost of barding for horses. So we just have to buy the raw materials.
I may be looking for some metal.
Okay, so is everyone just doing general shopping right now?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, let's just go through it quick. Okay, Faldir, what are you looking for? General metal, you said?
Well, first of all, I'm actually just going to go back to the...
You're taking the gobblers back to the carriage?
Yeah, I'm going to focus on that first and going into the lantern light, so I'd focus on others for...
Okay, you're doing that then. Do I hear a Blackheart?
You do.
Hey, Blackheart, introduce yourself real quick.
Blackheart as Carrick Marsh.
Congratulations, you did it. Right, all you've missed is the group discussing, essentially, you're going to split up for a short while and go get shopping and supplies.
Surely we're not going to be attacked.
So if there's anything you want, you can go off and do that, or you can decide to stick with somebody. It's up to you. Cass has already vanished, so it's not an option. Faldo is taking the goblins back up to the Fardo and seeing about getting a room at the Lantern Light.
Has any discussion been made to restock the general stores?
Basically, I'm talking about going and buying metal and leather and probably just randomly general stuff that we need for the for whatever journey we do.
So if you want to do a food restock.
So we're gonna probably do we're gonna need to do a feed restock at any rate, and then I was planning on basically getting whatever metal and leather together for if anybody wants me, Care, and Thaldir to craft. That I'm assuming Thaldir can craft too. Barding for the different mounts or things like that. We can get the metal and stuff like that and try to lower the price a little bit for people, so it's not nearly as expensive, maybe.
How much is
I think we have to pay like half as much in materials to make it, right?
What was that, RG?
What's the multiplier on getting armor for horse?
For a horse, it's 4, isn't it? 4 times?
Yeah, times 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Blackheart, I believe you have an ability to give temp HP when you cook a meal, right?
I need to double check that because I don't think it's temp. I think you get map book. I believe I can make it so they get extra hit points when using hit die.
I see. Okay.
Let me double check that. I really should put a paper.
While you're looking that up, okay. Corvus. What are you after?
Lacquered leather.
You're just looking for
essentially. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
In the style of apron is what you was doing.
in a style of apron, yeah.
Right. Well,
just as a flavor.
I'm essentially defesting the equipment from character appearance, so you can pick up lacquered leather pretty easily, and you can have it styled how you want, because I'm a kind GM like that. Yes, lacquered leather is not a issue. Let's see. Yeah, and you are able to find it from a reasonable merchant that is just asking for the base price that's listed.
150.
150. Do you want to haggle lower?
He's not a charisma person. He's efficient, so no.
Okay, yeah, so you can get that no problem.
Okay. And if he's able to, he would like to look into more remedy stuff.
Remedy stuff? Anything in particular?
Yeah, herbalism, just to help with making potions and other things.
In regards to healing potions, that's still going to be a no-go.
Okay.
As you recall, you were kind of sent out to actually get those kind of supplies.
That's right.
Yes.
Black market, then.
You want to do the black market? Okay. Right. In that case, I need you. Give me a perception check, please, at advantage.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay. So, after acquiring your armor,
alleyways are awful dark, Corvus.
you start meandering a bit, looking for the signs that indicate someone willing to deal in more illicit goods. And after a bit of wandering, you see a few scratchings on a posting leading down alleyways, leading on a bit of a meandering path, until you find the typical shady dealer leaning up against the wall, who sort of gives you a sidelong glance as you start to approach. And in the usual thieves' can't way, greets you a lovely morning. The harvest is coming in well this year.
And he will reply the appropriate response.
Yeah. All right. What are you looking for?
He's gonna see about. Let me get my notes in order. You can proceed to other characters.
Okay. Right. Moving on. RG. You often anything in particular?
The most of my if I remember it, I think horses can wear ringmail.
What part would you say?
I think horses can wear ringmail.
Horses can wear basically anything if you can pay for it.
Okay.
Horses can wear anything you can get made.
Yeah. So I'd be looking to get the materials to get ringmail made, which I forget it's half cost for having them to make it.
Yes. So you're looking for. Let's see. What would we want? Ringmail.
I'd probably say it was
from 100 to 400 and then down to 200.
Rings and stuff for metal.
Yep. Okay. So we're going to do the bulk of this cost in just the metals because that's convenient. So basically, you need to get about 200 gold's worth of. You want this to be made of iron or steel?
Steel.
You want this to be made of steel? Okay. Yeah. Now, do you want to get this in iron and carbon to make it steel with your friendly forgers, which might actually be a bit cheaper in the end? Or would you like to just go straight for the steel?
She knows how iron makes the brownies feel, so she'd actually just go eat the cost and go straight steel.
Okay. So you wandered down to the areas that you've all gotten rather familiar with the city, so you know where to find some of the smiths, and you find yourselves down near the docks, and you see a elven smith woman working away, and her store seems well stocked.
Or just kind of goes, hey, Can I buy some steel?
Oh, some steel.
Yeah.
I could probably part with some. How much are you looking to
Raising
acquire?
my hand. Am I with RG?
If you want to be.
I'm asking RG. Did you want me and Carrick with you, or me and Carrick with you while you went?
Yeah. If Care specifically is comfortable being there, yeah.
Well, I figure we've got to figure out. We had figured out the materials that we'd need for our
Mhm.
horses thing. So
Mhm.
if you're buying, we'll come with you. So hi.
Hmm.
Oh hi.
Oh, hello there. Oh, you must be the Heroes of Dolphood.
Something like that, yeah.
Not familiar with that one. Do you have any? You have steel though?
Yes, I do have steel.
Okay. I'm gonna consult with Care about how much we need.
I've never done a project quite like this before. Yeah, I'm used to.
I mean, the horse is about that big.
Yeah.
And it's about that far across.
So
You
I
gotta come down
imagine
the
for
shoulder, the
each
flank.
link I need like that much steel. So
That probably needs to be about that thick, actually. Yeah, right.
yeah. And basically, with widely spread arms, Care starts to
Yeah.
make sort of estimations.
Yeah, we're making like gesticulations. It's
Yes.
gonna be like that, and then like and we'll approximate
Yeah,
200
the
gold
mass.
worth of metal.
Yep.
In what our acquisition.
Her sort of eyebrow raises a bit as she's watching you work this out,
Yeah.
and she looks to you, Archie, and you also need steel.
I need steel for what they're making.
Right, so just that amount then.
For me, I think they need more of theirs.
Actually, I should probably get some.
For me?
Yeah.
What? I mean, what, to make more weapons? Armor?
Armor, maybe. I mean, is that sword good enough? Do you need anything else? Do you need a shield?
I suppose I could. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
You know? Oh.
RG will actually have gone down and basically on your crouched down so she's at eye level with them. Going, yeah, get new armor so if you do get hit, it doesn't hurt as much. That'd be a good idea.
Well, I could probably work my stuff from another bar.
Well, why don't we get also, I mean, we're gonna be getting. Well, I need to get extra leather if I'm gonna be making another saddle.
Yeah. How much? So, how many horses am I doing this for?
Well, so far, Archie's nobody else actually took us up on it. I'm assuming they'll buy the metal themselves, I guess.
Shall we get some extra metal just for our stores?
Yeah, let's get some extra. What do you think? Like an extra 20 bars?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I will
Yeah,
say
that-
that Eldir did
RG's
actually.
looking looks like, now is that 20
Found
bars
it.
at your size or 20 bars at my size?
Founder did ask.
He did actually accept Care's offer to start making some rings previously.
Okay.
Alright, so, yeah, I'll fork out 200 gold to front for Thaldir then.
Okay.
So
So 200 from RG, 200 from
200 from
you,
Ethan.
and then
And then
50
how much
extra.
extra for the 50 extra rings? Or 50 extra gold?
50 extra gold for some superfluous steel.
Alright, and
I'll fork half of that.
I was gonna say, let me check to see how much we have in party money, because we could steal from the party suit. Because party has money.
True.
We have a bank. We should spend it.
I can easily
Rainy days.
cover just reimbursement if necessary.
Oh yeah, we've got 15 plant in there. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably good. So let's take 5 plat out of there and just do that. So
Okay, in that case, divided by. Okay, so you need approximately, and basically you sort of gesture how much you need, and she's like, it's approximately 300 bars of steel.
Yep.
That will deplete the entirety of my stores. In fact, I might have to make some up during the day. For all of that, about 600 gold.
this is 200 gold's worth of metal and
This
200
is
gold's worth of
for
metal, and
150 gold's worth of metal. She's asking 600 for.
450 gold.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
Oh my god,
Archie-
child, why am I not gonna be able to do this very well? Good luck, child.
Care actually frowns a bit, and I heard.
I'm doing a check for myself to see if Gifted would question this.
And he's just going to lean into you, Gifton goes. Now, we heard the smith back in Tarnstead doing a lot of trade. That seems like an awful lot of gold.
Like, me and RG are about the same point on this. That seems a bit high, doesn't it?
Perhaps a little over, but I would be unable to work any more metals.
Last time I bought metal in town, it was, and I actually did buy metal in town last time, and I got it, and I bought it at cost. I didn't get it at a discount. So I was like, I'll rattle that off. I'll be like, that was about what I got when I was in here last. Has the price of steel gone up that much?
Well, no, but I imagine you did not deplete the stores of the person you brought from.
No.
I mean, what am I to do if somebody comes in asking me to make something and I have no steel?
So it's because we're taking too much from you. Okay. So RG, what if we get your steel from here, and then we'll go check and see if there's another place down the way. That way we're not taking it all from one place.
With that, give me a persuasion roll.
Can she have advantage since Archie's going along with it? Whether she's aware or not.
I absolutely adore Gifton's honest. Not
Well, I
even
don't want to
trying
put him
haggle.
out, right? I'm going to put him out.
Could she have advantage since Archie's going along with?
Yes, certainly. Roll again.
It's not going to be good, so.
No, you say.
Yeah.
That wasn't good at all. Jeez, Sam.
Yep.
Well, I am a kind and generous person, and I wouldn't want you walking about town to find such things. Perhaps 500 gold pieces.
Yeah, she dropped about a whole 100 gold pieces off the price. I'll take an extra 5 plat out of the party pool to cover it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds fair.
Marvelous.
And this is steel, not iron, right?
This is steel, yes. Although I will have to forge some of it, well, to make up the number, as I said. I can deliver it if you so wish. As it's such a large order. This will be done by tonight.
We aren't sure where we're staying yet, but I can either have the cart by or let you know. We were gonna try to get in at the Lantern Light. We heard the King's Mercy's pretty full.
Well, I can't really be running it all over town, so if you can send word of where you are, or pop by in the evening.
Yeah, we could just pick it up tomorrow morning if you want.
Where is she at, by the way, Allie? I want to put a mark.
She is basically roughly down. Whoop.
Right there? Alright, I want to put a little whoop. Because we've been to her before.
Yes, you have.
Well, somebody's been to her before.
Does anyone even remember her name? I've got it right here.
I have it in my notes. So,
I never met her.
because she was the elven one that was kind of interesting. So let me find her. Yeah, Aurel.
Well, she do you offer up to payment?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
okay. Payment. We got the money.
Sure.
Flinar Ianala.
That's correct. She'll take the payment from you and then offer up her hand to RG. I'm Flinar. It's a pleasure to do business with you.
I'm Archie. I can do business with you as well.
And
She'll smile sincerely.
and she'll sort of lean down a little bit and sort of just hold her hand out as if to offer the same gesture. And
Uh-huh.
Claire will like sort of reach out and touch her finger awkwardly.
Mhm.
Uh,
I'm gonna bloom a flower and hand it up to her.
Claire, pleasure. And she'll
Gifton.
take the flower and smile. Well, if you do want to pop by tomorrow, I can certainly give it to you then. Gives me a little
Alright.
more time.
How about we do
That'd
that?
probably
That
be-
way it'll be a little easier.
That'd be
Certainly.
easier that way. You don't want to have you running around everywhere.
Yeah, I mean we're already putting you out buying all this metal from you.
Well, I appreciate it. In that case, I will get to work. Good day to you, fine folks.
You as well.
She was really nice. I'm saying that like as we immediately turn,
Yeah.
and not like there's any filter.
Yeah, you hear a small chuckle as she walks back into her shop. Okay.
Gifton literally no filter.
And you can basically pick up all of these leather you need to sort of work with this very easily.
Yeah.
Another 10 gold pieces, because you don't
Alright,
need that much of it compared to the metal.
All right. I'm gonna take that out of
Yeah.
party as well, just to make it easy.
Probably a good idea.
Because By the way, I don't have to take it out of mine because Thaldir is going to owe the party 200 gold pieces basically right now. Is how I'm feeling it.
Alright.
I got it covered when I get the bill.
Alright, Cassie, we've already resolved your stuff, although is there anything extra you need off the top of your head?
Shopping wise, no, that's the shopping I needed to do, but I was also going to visit the Temple of Iran.
All on?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Carrick, any shopping you want to be doing? You want to buy feed and food and such, right?
Yes, and
yes, you can, Sam. Is this for?
I am making a tiny little military saddle for Dingus.
For Dingus? Okay,
So
half
take
the
10 gold
cost.
pieces.
I actually have a question as I was looking through stuff to buy.
Yes.
So trying to come up with the price of painting canvas, and the only thing listed is straight canvas as the trade good, and I'm pretty sure there is a slight difference between
Yes,
the two.
there is. What is the price of that?
Canvas is, yes, I could it popped up in a second. 1 silver piece per square yard.
Okay. Right,
I
and
think it's like cell canvas or something.
Yeah, that's the trade good.
let's see. For the sake of ease, as it's a fancy material, essentially, we're gonna go two silver pieces. That might not always be the price, but just for the sake of, I haven't had time to look it up.
I'm going to get 2 of those. Technically, it already says my kit. I have some, but it doesn't give me how many.
No.
So I'm going to buy 2.
Mhm.
And then is feed and rations and stuff
Feed and rations is just at
regular
cost.
price?
Yeah.
Okay. I am not going to try to bargain those down because of the town's technically still recovering.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you're able to acquire as much as you need, really.
okay. I'm also going to buy a young boy.
Okay.
Just to work like the goblins and teach them to speak.
Yep.
Speak.
2
No, we're
copper
not
pieces
doing
a
that.
day for unskilled labor.
We're not doing that, but it is very tempting to suddenly go goblins, child, goblin.
To get along fine.
I mean, they just start chewing at each other. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to acquire all of that pretty simply.
You're not getting a child.
The painting canvas does take you into some of the nicer areas, and yeah, it's nice actually being something that's not particularly dingy and very well kept.
I don't know if I trust the people here. They might have been working with Landor.
That's true.
Who wasn't?
The Capays.
Alright, anything else, Carrick?
I think that's everything.
Okay.
I don't think I was looking for anything particular right now. So.
All right. Quick swing back to Corvus. Have you figured out what you're
Yes.
after?
Yes, so he will actually approach with his mask on as well.
Okay.
side thought that I had. And he will inquire about purchasing the means of creating potions or just purchasing poisons outright. Ones he has of interest is oil of Tignit, which is like a sleep contact poison, and then malice.
Okay. Where are those from?
They're from the dungeon. They're from 5e SRD.
Not legit things then.
Ah,
Malice
Okay.
is from the DMG.
It is from
Oh, it
DMG? Okay. Let me look it up real quick.
and he will also say if there's any knowledge about augmentation to what he is currently wearing, the mask, and
Okay.
he will flash the eye of the cane of the gentleman.
He looks down at the eye and then gives you a quizzical look, and you can see him sort of staring at your mask and goes, "You're a right creepy fuck, aren't you? Come on in here if we're going to talk further." And he opens up a sort of nearby door, looks like a back door to an apartment, and sort of gestures you in.
Okay.
Once inside, there's a lot of storage crates and such in here, a lot of bags, and you can see him starting to rummage through things. Right, so you're looking for some malice. You want it pre-made, or you're just looking for the stuff to make it?
Either or is fine.
Should have some here. I ain't gonna ask what you're doing with that. Here we go.
Medicine is best practice knowing its afflictions.
Right.
Today we'll buy.
For good purposes, right? And he winks at you.
He'll nod with a big mask.
And he actually fishes out a couple of rather large files. Got 2 doses here. This stuff evaporates real quick.
Indeed. And what would be your asking price?
400 gold pieces each.
Each.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
not easy to
what
make.
if... well, if I can make some more, it would be beneficial for you, would it not?
Are you looking to become a supplier, are you?
If I have the capabilities to do so.
And do you have the capabilities?
He does.
No,
He doesn't have...
he's asking that.
Oh, I have the means, not the ingredients.
Right. And how do I know that you're going to supply me and not my competition?
You're the only one I know of this place currently.
Oh, we're not hard to find. Alright,
Need to work on that.
let's see. You agree to make some of this for me?
I can.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you these for 300 gold pieces each. You figure out how to make it, and we can do business from there on.
Great. I will also throw in the antitoxin.
Yeah, I don't get much call for antitoxin, strangely enough.
Fair.
I do got some somewhere.
There's no needs. I make that quite easily.
Anything else? Got acid. Got plenty of caltrops. Got a few of the guard manacles here. And you can see him starting to rummage through stuff. Oil. Some basic poisons.
Just the malice.
Just a menace. All right. Right. That'll be 600 gold.
Well, I've only been purchasing one.
Oh, just the one. All right. And he puts the other file away, and as he holds the other one out to you, while also holding out his other hand.
And there will be an exchange.
Right. Pleasure doing business with you. Try and leave.
Similar place if I have materials for you.
Yeah, I'm always around these streets.
Okay. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure.
you're not a guardsman, are you? You know, you
Not
got
a
to tell me if I
guardsman.
ask you.
No, I am not a guardsman. The guardsmen likely hate me as much as you.
Oh, grand. Right. In that case, if they really hate you, try not to be seen leaving my place.
Is that by the mask?
Yeah, it's still right creepy, that. Yeah.
Not suspicious.
Feel free to show yourself out.
Also, it's like there's so many people in town that have a mask like that.
All right, and he will leave with
Okay.
1 dose of malice.
Allie,
I'm Ali.
I actually found something else I want.
What do you want, Blackheart?
Can I find fishing tackle? Because
Oh, yes, you can find that very easily.
We're going to be going on a boat soon, and that'll
You
help.
are going to be going on a boat soon. Okay. I hope you go down to the docks to try and get this.
Yes.
You do see a variety of actual little fishing tracks. There are some that are just out in the open, people just selling bait and such right there and then on the docks, and there are a couple of actual buildings that do seem to be general stores, but more for the fishermen.
Go to one of the general stores.
Okay, you got one that looks a little dingy, not entirely run down, but
Oh.
obviously not super well kept. And then one a little closer to the north side of the docks actually looks pretty well kept.
I'm going to wait for a little bit and watch if I can see both from one place and see
okay.
if one seems to do more business than the other.
Perception check.
That was almost a performance check.
Okay, so you watch for a good 20 minutes. You've got time, and you do start to notice a pattern in the crowds. The ones that go into the northern shop seem to be well dressed, fine folks who, reading them, feels hobby fishermen. Nobles having a nice weekend out, or just well-to-do people just wanting to go fish in a lake.
Okay.
The other store, you do see people coming off of boats, people hauling fish to the market and then heading to that store. And it has a lot more of the working folk going in.
Go into the one for the working people. 'Cause
Okay.
they probably know their gear better.
Right, you head on in, and immediately you are met with the sound of, argument. Friendly debate, if loud and coarse sounding, between a couple of fishermen at the counter talking to what you presume is the proprietor of the shop, who is a rather wrinkled, very bushy eyebrowed, bushy beard, older fella. Looks to be human, greying. And they do seem to be debating what to use as bait.
Is this a worms versus minnows type thing?
Worms versus minnows things, and then there's also the debate of what to use as further decoration. You can see one guy, frantically shaking a colourful little ball with a bunch of feathers stuck to it at another one.
Artificial lures.
And the one he's shaking it at seems to be holding a pot of live bait.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of watch this for a little bit and kind of listen and
Okay. You don't exactly learn much from it because you're not entirely sure who is correct. But yeah, they are arguing the fineries of what bait to use. And after you've listened to a bit, you see the man behind the counter sort of craning his neck past his two other customers, squinting at you and going, "Hey, what do you want?"
I was hoping to pick up some fishing tackle. My group and I are going to be out on the water for a while coming up soon, and was thinking some fishing might ease the need for rations and such.
Out on the water? What kind of water? You going out on the river? You off to the ocean? What are you doing?
Out of character because I don't have the map. We're
Both.
starting on the river and going on to the ocean either way, right?
Yes.
We decide to go.
We would definitely start on the river. Well, we may start on the river. That depends on where we decide to get on the water, because we could theoretically wait to get to what's its name
Roadville.
beforehand.
We're starting
Yeah,
in
we
a boat.
We could go over to Wintercroft and hit the river there, or we could go straight up from this river.
Yes, in
That's the options we
fact,
probably could
Ali did make up a little thing of travel times comparison for if the party wishes to see it.
That would be
That
appreciated,
would be
yeah.
useful.
Oh dear. Okay, so this was done in Ali's very roughshod, quickly mapping out, not entirely cleaned up. But what is important is the number, then days at the end of each of these things.
Okay.
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 Okay, so Dolvord to Wintercroft would be 7 days.
Yep, that's up the river, and then road route to Sidur would be 2 days by ocean. Then this is accounting for Dolvord to Wintercroft on land, which is a shorter trip than actually going, river-wise. And then Wintercroft to Roadvale by boat. Roadvale to Colthwaite by boat.
Okay.
Okay, so the Wintercroft to Roadvale is by boat, not by walking. Okay. So basically, the quickest way for us is to start on foot to get to Wintercroft.
Yes.
And then Wintercroft to Roadvale is river, correct?
Yes.
That is not ocean. Okay. So we
I don't suppose your mom and dad would let us leave the Vardo at their end, would they?
out of character, I don't know because I can't enter in character because we're nowhere near each other.
Well, no, I'm just saying, out of character. Do you think that could be a feasible thing we could game towards? Because if we could leave our wagon in care of your parent plus significant other, they're not married yet. We could leave our wagon there. Maybe
they may
could
be
watch
married by the time we're
goblins.
there. Who
Are we also going to drop off their grandchildren at the same time? Wink, wink.
Yeah, we could drop off their grandchildren.
Oh God! No, we're not leaving the goblins there.
Why not?
Are
It'd be
we
great.
at least going to be able to introduce them as their grandchildren?
No.
But,
all right,
but
Gifton,
I
you're
just
on
realized
that.
that would be a great way to deal with the fact that we probably can't take the Vardo on the riverboat from Wintercroft. We could probably leave it there.
Goblins introduces my grandchildren might end up with me dead. So
okay, so in that case, that means that I'm changing my idea. I'm gonna buy 2 weeks worth of food while we're out running around. I'm gonna have 2 weeks worth of food ready. For the animals, not for us.
Just to re-clarify, if we're leaving the Vardo there, are we also leaving the horses there?
We can still take the horses. It's just the Vardo itself would be hard to load onto a ship because horses.
Yeah, I just want to reconfirm just to make sure.
Okay, I'll still buy a month's worth of food for the animals, but we're gonna be leaving the chickens and the cow probably because we won't take them with us.
Yeah,
it's gonna break things.
Now, on the other thing, you could get the Vardo onto a boat at Dolfwood. The river's big enough that they have big enough ships coming down it that you could conceivably do that, right? Mm-hmm. So you could take it to Sidor, or you can actually do this trip to Colthwaite as well, just replacing the first leg of that trip with that river travel.
I'm just saying it would be nice to know where the Vardo is. So that way, if you have to go.
Why don't you guys discuss that in text while we finish up this weird fishing thing?
Kind of looks like he's kind of like calculating his brain. We're gonna be starting off on the river, but we'll be going out on the ocean at least for part of it.
Right. Is something that'll last out there then. Is this hobby or food? You're going to be releasing this stuff or?
It'd be for food.
Alright. Okay. And he looks you up and down, and you can see he's looking at your rather nice dress compared to the sort of very worn down, with comfortable looking but very worn down clothes of the people in here.
To get extra out of character, get extra points for suddenly throwing a knife at somebody.
Nope.
You could try if you wanted.
No, I'm not that crazy.
Oh my
It's not
god,
a
do you,
knife,
you
this is a
about
knife.
to assassinate Corvus's contact?
Alright,
We had a deal.
give me a second, boy. And you can hear him audibly groan as he starts to move around the shop, and he's just grabbing stuff up under his arms, grabbing a box, this big sort of bundle that looks like to be wrapped rods, and he brings it all back over to the counter. He goes, "Alright, here's your box to keep all your bait and tackle in. This rod should last you out on the ocean. Very, very sturdy. The lining for it, nice and tough.
Okay.
Yeah, need some bait as well, I imagine, right?" And he says, already pulling stuff out from under the counter.
I'm going to out of character, just because I don't know if we have actually discussed. Actually, I'm trying to remember if we discussed this. We basically are heading out pretty soon. We know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
live.
We
well,
haven't
you guys
figured out
haven't
where,
talked about it, but you're
Yeah.
you're trying not to door at least.
Yeah. So live bait should be fine, at least for a little while. Right now.
Maybe. Depends how long it takes. And he's like, right, here's some good old grubs, here's some worms. Crickets, I like these myself. You know, they're twitchy, they get a lot of attention in the water.
Can I come pick? I'm not sure how long we're in town right now. I will, if I can pick up the tackle now, I will come just before we leave to make sure that the bait is good for the longer part of the trip. If that would be okay.
So you want to take the tackle, leave the bait here?
Yes, for now.
Alright then. That'll be... And you see him sort of counting on his fingers. And then look at the items, counting again. Pausing. Closing his eyes. That'll be 3 gold pieces total.
I'm going to check
Mhm.
because I don't know how much and actually what he's offering. Or should I make it in check?
No, insight is fine. Your in check would be to try and recall the price yourself, but you're just looking to see if he is cheating you or not.
Yes.
You get the feeling he's overcharging you a little bit.
Not a lot.
Not a huge lot, but a
I
bit.
will. And was this including the bait or not including?
This is including the bait.
Okay. We're actually trying to help the town out too. So since he's not like completely gouging me, we'll give him the 3 gold.
He takes the gold, and you see him do the traditional chomp to check if it's good. And then you see that most of his teeth are actually missing. He's just using a couple of good teeth there.
Oh, I kind of feel bad for him now.
He's
Alright.
jumped enthusiastically in the past.
Well, I've always got bait, lads. I don't feel any need to rush for it. I'll keep note
Okay,
that
sir.
you've paid. And you see him scribble down something on a piece of little scrap paper, and it looks completely illegible.
What is your name, sir?
Oh, I'm Harris.
And what is Harris? What he was? I think
Human.
he said he was human.
Yeah.
Am I running out of pen ink? It might be Harris, owner of. Did this place have a name on the outside?
There was no sign.
Okay.
It's the bait shop.
Pens, where are you?
This is a master fisherman.
This is really sad when the pen maker's out of pens.
There's a pen maker with his pens.
Fish. I'll be
Simple
right
life.
back. I need to go get another pen to write
Okay.
notes on.
Right, now moving on. Cass, you're walking up to the Temple of Olon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
You head up there along familiar streets, really, because, it's right near Capet's house.
I have been here before. I just didn't go in because
Yep.
it was a fortress.
Yeah, and you are met with the sight of this familiar fortress-like monastery, a fortress monastery, if you will. And the doors are closed. They don't look barred or anything. There are actually, even though it's really rather early in the day, there are lit sconces on the outside of the walls.
Okay. This time, Cass is, if I remember correctly, there was essentially a drawbridge.
Which is lowered, even though the gates are closed.
Cass is going with all of her purchases in tow. She's crossing the drawbridge.
Okay. You cross on over, and the gate's a little weird for a chapel's gate, simply because it has this huge iron knocker on it, which is not a common thing to see.
Well, I will knock.
Right, so you actually have to grab it with both hands. It is that large, like it's wider than you. And you pull it back, and you basically just release it, and let out a resounding freaking, thwack against the door. And you can hear it sort of echoing inside. And after a few moments, the little sort of portcullis opens up, and you see a pair of eyes staring at you.
No one gets to
Cass
see the
is
wizard.
doing this little demur wave. Hi.
Alright, what can I do for you, lass?
I was hoping to talk to one of the priests of Orlon about some situations, and she's got this worried smile on her face.
If this is a confession about love and life, we're not really the place.
No, this is more about lightning and anger.
Perfect. And the portcullis gets slammed shut, and then you hear a shuffle, as if someone's getting off of something, and the scraping of a stool being moved aside. And then the door opens up, and you see a sort of wizened old dwarf looking up at you, wearing a strange mix of robes and armour. It's as if a sort of a leather breastplate has been fashioned over top and actually attached to a set of robes. Bright red, brown armour, red robes, and he grins up at you. Lightning, we're good at that. Come on in. Oh, you're a horse. Come on, come in.
She's gonna trot in.
Oh, you're that still shod, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. Sorry, looking out at your pretty hair and such, thought you were one of those, soppy lost girls.
No. It's just nice to look nice.
Well,
And she smiles.
what can we do for you, Manticore Slayer?
Well, recently I've been having some issues with lightning and very, very potent anger, and I don't know what's going on.
And he's going to look at you briefly, and he's like, issues with lightning, being struck by it or making it? Because I've heard rumours about you. They say
Apparently
that
it's coming from
that
me.
noble was flung from his window by a bolt of lightning.
That's something else entirely, but it ties in.
All right then. And he just stands there with his hands on his hips, looking at you expectantly.
I don't want to zap you. I don't want to be angry.
I want to hear what you want us to do about it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. More than anything, it's...
Oh, you've probably been blessed by Orlon.
Unyielding rage and just raw anger overcoming you and just wanting to beat this living shit out of everyone?
That's called life, that is.
Nothing? But why me? I'm a carpenter.
Not that I've heard. A carpenter doesn't run around the city fighting off Goliaths.
Well, they had it coming.
Well, it sounds
We're
like
at
you've got a higher
Tarnstead.
calling.
Oh.
Yeah, go,
She's literally doing that. She's like, oh,
follow me.
Oh.
I'm not.
And he sort of gestures you to follow him as he walks deeper in. And there are many many doorways here that are shut and look like they could be very easily barred. And he opens and closes each one before him, and then once you go through behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And he leads you deeper in. And give me a perception roll, Cass.
Okay. Perception. I want to make sure I'm on normal. That's persuasion, perception.
Yes, it's good enough. It's just architecture. Yeah. Looking at this has way more in design of hell. It's actually far more extreme than most garrisons or keeps you've seen, which has only been a couple. All of the hallways and such in here are slanted and have little nooks and crannies in such a way. These are definitely kill corridors.
Are you expecting an invasion?
We just had one, lass.
Point.
And as he opens up another door, you can in fact see stonework that is still stained, which with blood that must have been recent.
They got in here too?
Oh yeah, that door's new. They bashed down the door, stormed the place. It was glorious.
I thought we got most of them.
No,
Okay,
you did.
Sorry.
It was a good time. Sent a couple of our lads up to sit at Orlan's side. Lucky bastards. And finally he leads you into what looks like to be their main prayer room. There's the definite sign of an altar. Not much in the way of pews like most other chapels you've seen. In fact, there do seem to be sectioned off areas that look an awful lot like dueling pits. So, I've got some scripture that might help you if you're the reading sort.
Well, I did learn how to read, so hold on one second.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Yeah. I did learn how to read, so I can go over it.
Right, yeah, and he just picks up what looks to be a rather tattered, very loosely bound leaf of pages, and he holds them up to you. You can keep this one.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So, how long's this been happening then?
Since shortly after the fall of Tarnstead.
Did you feel any sort of divine grace or, something talking in your head? Go forth,
Not
my
until
child.
recently.
So messages came later. Right, what I've been telling you.
Kick everyone's ass, murder them, and it has nothing to do with Orlan. It has to do with the sword that I found, but that's another subject altogether.
He squints at you a bit. You could have mentioned that sooner. What's this sword you found then?
Cass is actually folding her arms across her chest to keep her hands away from the sword.
Uh-huh.
And she's going to nod down to the sword on her hip. During the invasion, there was a Goliath who was riding around on a manticore.
Yeah, that one you killed, right?
Yeah, I took the sword off of him, and it talks to me. It's angry. It's how I blasted Jax out of his window.
Wait, hang on. You said that this lightning stuff started at Tarnstead.
It started after Tarnstead. We got to Southwest Time, and we were dealing with some bandits, and, well, zap. I got angry. Just really, really, really angry.
So you were able to sap before then? But you're saying it's the
No.
sword that did this?
No, it's not the sword that did this. The sword has amplified everything.
You sure you're not projecting this?
I didn't... Literally, when we were in Southwest Time, we went after a group of bandits, and they were swinging, and I just got so angry, there was just a crack, and one of them got zapped. And at that time, I was carrying around a great axe I hauled off another Goliath.
Yeah. He scratches his head a bit and goes, well, it's a bit odd. Most of the time, Orlan's blessings, well, they don't just happen. The holy men, they know when they're going to call down the lightning. They have to will it to happen. It doesn't just happen?
Well, I have to be angry. And I mean, angry enough that the rest of my adventuring party actually kind of worries if I'm going to come after them.
Well, beat up a tree, lass. Try and vent it.
Mhm.
I mean, anger's good. Anger will see you through a battle, as long as it doesn't blind you.
Well, I think this is actually starting to get to the point where it's blinding me. I mean, I've had a bit more control recently because I think I might be getting used to it, but it scares even me because Maris up at the keep was able to identify magic coming off of me, and I've never had magic. I was taught how to be a soldier when
He
I was a kid.
he crosses his arms a bit and goes, "Well, you were taught to be a soldier. Did you what? Did you run away from it, or what is it?"
Um, when there was a tournament and I broke someone's back, I got angry.
Well, if you want to stay here, we can try and beat that out of you. We're pretty good at it.
We have to. We're heading up to Roadvale and Sadir probably in the next day or two, so I really can't.
And then, breathe steady.
But
So,
I left that life and I retreated down to Tarnstead and I became a carpenter with Ind. And everything was fine. And then other things happened and anger started riling up again. And then everything got calm and then Tarnstead burned.
I'm afraid I don't have a magic fix for you, darling.
Well, no fix is fine. Maybe the scripture will have something that will help me figure this out.
Maybe it'll give you something to focus on, something to find peace with. I'll pray for you. How about that?
But might you know anything about this sword?
Can I see it?
She's still holding her arms across her chest to try and keep her hands away from it. Yeah, it might be angry, but I have no problem.
He stands there for a couple of moments, like holding his hand out as you're expecting to draw it out for him, for like slowly moving towards you,
She's going nowhere near it.
Giving you a very sort of worried look now. Swords don't typically bite.
Yeah. Let's just say there was a point where I didn't even realize I had drawn it, and I was brandishing it at people. So, if you want to take it out of its scabbard, go ahead.
Okay, and he shrugs and he reaches for it. And as he reaches for it, you feel a sort of tingling through your body, the crackle of electricity, and the voice in the back of your head. If his hand touches my hilt or wield of mine, he will drop where he stands.
Don't touch it. She's threatening you.
She's threatening me.
Yeah, she says if you touch her, she's going to kill you where you stand.
Right.
Yeah, this is the problem I have with her. We really don't see eye to eye, and I don't think I can get rid of her.
Have you tried talking to any of the garrison medics about this?
Everyone looks at me like I'm insane when I say this, and
He
I
nods
swear,
slowly.
Trust me. Ever since I came into the possession of the sword, all the lightning has gotten more lightning.
Oh, I tell you to embrace the lightning, but honestly, I don't know what's up with you.
I think that the lightning's gotten more lightning.
You sure you don't want me to look at that sword?
I don't want you risking your life on this.
Out of character, Toby. Maybe you could just hold it out so he could look at it. You could take it out of the sheath and just hold it.
She's going to step back a little bit and draw out the sword and put the tip into the ground and just kind of hold the pommel and stand back and just go, don't touch it. But
He's going to give you another odd look before he sort of moves a little bit closer, deliberately keeping his hands back, more to sort of reassure you than out of any concern himself. And he starts looking at the blade up and down, and he frowns a little bit. Well, it looks really banged up. What metal is that?
I don't know.
Normally I can tell that at a glance, but
I know what the problem is.
that's
The
not,
sword's just in need of a makeover.
that's not steel, I don't think. You sure I can't take a closer look?
So long as. And Cass is just going to ask in her head, "Can he take a look at you, please? Don't kill him."
Keep your hand on my hilt.
She's fine so long as I keep a hold of her.
Uh-huh. Right. And then he does actually reach out and just sort of, lift up the blade itself. And you can feel him turning it, trying to lift it, look under it, and basically moving your arms about as he inspects it.
And she's just going to, she's going to hold on to the hilt, but her arm's going to be loose to let him move.
What's this? And he seems to be looking very close at the pommel of the blade, and you see him lick his thumb and start sort of rubbing at the surface.
She's going to hold on
This
to
is
the
getting
hilt.
very lewd, Allie.
Yeah. Caked in dirt, but yeah. I don't know what that is, but it might help you.
What's that?
And he flicks the base of the blade and then points. Take a look.
She's going to look.
And you can see it's still a little hard to see. There seems to be a mix of dirt, grime, and even a little bit of rust that has obscured what looks like to be a strange little symbol.
Okay.
It's very, very jagged looking, but not in the same sense of Goliath scripting or such, just scripting with very sudden turns.
Okay. I haven't seen that before, but I haven't also cleaned the blade because I'm kind of nervous around it.
You shouldn't be nervous around your own blade.
She's just angry. So angry.
A bit of willpower, lass, that's what you need. Again, stay here, we can help you with that.
I have to go. Other people need me.
Well, you gotta go, but there aren't any quick fixes.
I wasn't looking for a quick fix. I was just hoping for information, and this helps a lot. Also, just telling someone the problem and not being looked at like I'm absolutely insane, especially when it comes to the lightning thing.
A wide grin sort of splits his face and goes, well, at least they're telling someone your problem part.
Okay, I'll take that.
Well,
But
anything else I can help you with?
not so much. But I'll read the scripture you gave me and see if I can't make heads or tails and maybe come up with something. And if I back through this way, I'll come back and talk to you. She has this hopeful look on her face.
Of course, you're always going to be welcome here.
Maybe we can spar?
Oh, I'd very much enjoy that. I'll tell you what, you come to one of our sermons, I'll give you a good fight.
I don't know why, but I kind of figured that.
I'm just imagining the sermons are just a big cage fight now.
I think it's like Fight Club.
No, because
it's
Fight
pro
Club you don't
wrestling.
talk about.
It's all pro wrestling.
Right, next all day you're in town, you get your ass here.
Mm-hmm. I'll come. but I don't know when we'll be back. It's if we end up coming back this way, we've
10 days
got a
later.
hellacious
I'll be
set of
back here.
things we got to deal with,
Well, the battle's always waiting, lass.
and never ending.
Mm-hmm. So go on out there, be lightning. Put the fear and fury into the hearts of your foes.
She smiles. I'm not very good at the entire intimidating thing, but I'm very good at kicking people's ass.
As long as you're having fun in the process.
I think I'm more screaming in terror, and they're being frightened by the fact that I'm crying while I'm beating them half to death.
Maybe work on that a bit as well.
Less crying.
I don't think I got your name, sir.
Oh no.
Oh no, you say.
That's the best name ever.
Name's Father Coppershield.
Copper Shield.
Oh God! Wait, was it a dwarf?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that part. I'm like, if it's not a dwarf, oh God, it's gonna be beaten up when the dwarf finds out about that name.
Well, it was excellent meeting you, Father Coppershield. I'm Cassiopeia Steelshod.
He nods as if, yep, I know. A pleasure, lass.
Mm-hmm. Thank you again. All your information is quite helpful. And calming. So calming.
Oh, I like to think these are very calming halls, he says. And as he says that, you can hear from a sort of distant corridor the sounds of like yelling and screaming and people being hit with stuff. Shall I show you out?
I think I would get lost if you didn't.
Yeah, good. Right, this way. And yeah, he'll lead you out.
Okay. And she'll follow him out and then head up towards the inn once she's done, because that was the last place she heard that we were all going.
Okay. Faldir.
They'll be like half a shake.
Half shake. Okay.
I'll go real quick because I have 2 more shots.
Okay, Carrick.
10-foot pole and 10-foot ladder.
10-foot pole and 10-foot ladder. Yes, you can get easily at their listed price.
Okay. We're slowly filling up the whole Vardo with things that we didn't have. How much for a sink?
Kitchen sink.
Yes.
What do you want it made out of?
I don't know what they made about. Oh God, it would probably been cast iron back then.
Yeah.
Copper, iron. Yeah.
Copper would probably be the better choice. I'm just curious because I don't think we have one, do we?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No.
We have buckets and stuff like that, and a washboard, and barrels and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't make room for a wash basin in the Vardo.
Yet.
We don't have. No, stop it.
Very, very, very basic copper sink. 10 gold pieces.
Oh, see, we could get one at some point.
Nope.
I actually have a location I'm going to go before to the end because I want to actually check the place out that we
Okay.
haven't
Where do you want to go?
directly spent time to. I need to check which guy it is because I'm pretty sure I have the right one. But I've also learned I am good at not remembering things properly, and that is not the right button. Settings. I am going to go check out the Temple of Morgani.
Okay.
Again, I know I was there previously, but I've never was not a in character anything happening. So
Okay, so you head to the more southern sections of town, going through out-of-the-way streets to reach this little, nearly forgotten temple. And yeah, you see this small little structure, more a shrine than anything else. The door is open.
I'm gonna head on in.
Okay, as you head on in, you it seems empty at first, but you can hear sort of shuffling in a little sort of side room.
Is the inside setup is a standard?
It's very simple. It's a single room with a couple of little side rooms, which
Okay.
look like they're probably a living space and so on.
Does the main room got pews and stuff like a regular church, or is it more
There's
like?
a few small pews. There's not a lot of room in here, but it does have the setup of pews and altar.
I'm gonna kind of come over. Hello.
Oh, hello. A woman pops her head out. Can I help you?
I just was coming to check out the temple and such.
Please, feel free to look around. Are you one of the faithful of Morgani?
Um, out of character. Actually, I should probably make a check first. See how much I actually know about
Yes, go ahead. Give me a
that
religion roll.
is. As soon as I figure out where my character sheet went. There it is. A religion roll. Let's see how bad I can botch this. 11.
You know the very basics that Morgani is the goddess of magic, represents the dragonkind, tends to represent knowledge, more sort of old arcane knowledge.
So on the dragon bit, is this like the origin of dragons? Or
She is said to
this
be the origin of dragons, yes.
Kind of. I'm not really a faithful as much as descendant, kind of.
Descendant?
There's some dragon in my back in my family.
Oh, you don't get many people mentioning that these days. And she sort of comes on out fully and give me a perception check. Or an insight. Insight's probably better.
Thank you for letting me use the high roll. You're still the not one. Oh, hey, actually not.
You look her over, and while she's talking to you and smiling, she looks very tired. Like you can see the sort of bags under her eyes. Her outfit's a bit dishevelled.
Did I interrupt your sleep, ma'am?
Oh, no, don't be silly. Can't be sleeping during the day. But
What time is it, by the way?
at this point, it's about 3 p.m.
Okay, so is everything okay?
Oh, yes, absolutely fine. Um, strange, Chris. But yes, you say you did a bit of dragon blood in you?
Yes, on my father's side.
Has developed any arcane abilities?
Yes, I'm gonna roll up the right sleeve, show the scale work.
Oh, well, you are very blessed. Are you interested in joining the church? You would be accorded, well, she smiles a bit. You're kind regarded quite like, she gestures sort of in the direction, the church, Father Stone is quite like the blessed of the others.
Well, at this point, out of character, I haven't asked her, but just general from dealing with grandma. Do I have a feeling that anything religious based is going to go bad, or is it just all the dealings with the angels that I'm too dumb not to do?
There's no real inclination either
Okay.
way, beyond what
Okay.
you would assume through your experiences.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of thought I'd peek in. We're heading out probably pretty soon again. Gotta go possibly try to save another town, it sounds like.
Save a town?
I'm part of the group that broke the sieges on two of the gates.
Oh, you're one of those Tarnstead lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it you've dealt with Goliaths and Dark Tidings?
Yes. We've also just got back from doing some help to the town, guarding some of the groups going out to gather goods and materials to help rebuild.
Oh, that's very very good of you. Yeah, so you come in here by curiosity then?
Mostly.
Well, Morgani will always welcome one of her children in, which you are. I'm afraid we don't have any scheduled sermons anytime soon, or I'd invite you to come to one.
No problem. May I ask, ma'am, was the temple attacked at all when the Goliaths came through?
There was not much in the way of attack, no, not here. I mean, a few. She sort of gestures her head towards the doors. A few scrapes and bayings, but we barred up rather quickly once we got people inside, and I think we were more hassled than we were worth.
It's good to hear that no harm came to those inside.
Yes, well, it's a small miracle.
May I ask, ma'am, what brought you to the service of Morgani?
Oh, this might sound a little. Oh shit! What's the word? What's the word for flighty? Non-commit.
Fancy.
Yes, there we go. This might sound like a little flight of fancy, but I always dreamed of being a mage when I was little, and even though I didn't have the spark as such, the study interested me, and well, that led me to reading about Morgani. You know, very closely linked, and just resonated with me.
I can understand that. What is your name, ma'am?
I could have sworn I gave her name before when she was visited, but I'm having trouble finding it.
Oh God, don't tell me right now if I ain't got another pen.
You did?
No, I didn't. I just didn't want to write.
Oh. 1 second. Yeah, cannot find it. Okay, she gets a new name. I'm Sister Shaw.
Did you say sure? Sure?
Shaw.
Sure.
SHAW. You can call me Darcy though.
I'm thinking I said in that. Did you say Dottie?
Darcy.
Darcy.
Darcy. Okay. Darcy. Is it just you here? Or
She actually gives a little bit of a sad smile at that and nods. Just me. A few couple regulars, but no other priests or priestesses here.
I'm guessing not too many look to Morgani in this area then, unfortunately.
Not since the wars and not since the conscriptions.
Well, hopefully that will change someday soon.
I can hope, yes.
I'll try to, when we're in town, to come in, pay my respects.
I would appreciate that. You'll always be welcome. We tend to meet on the second half day of each month. If you ever want to meet any others.
Second. I always look this up because I can remember how to spell that.
HEVDAY. Or do you mean the word second?
Yes, the word second.
Gifton got to go to that 2 times when she was in town.
Because Gifton loves visiting places.
Yeah.
And clapping.
Gifton went to all the priests.
Are you implying that there are people who don't love clapping?
This lady was a lot more composed when Gifton went.
Oh,
Wonder why.
makes me wonder what's going on. Poor lady.
You know the thing I'm also trying to find, because I know we had it someplace, the calendar day stuff. Oh, never mind, I found it.
I was
Okay,
looking
so that's
for
the
that for a bit.
last day of the week. Sits under notes, under setting notes at the very bottom.
Oh,
Okay, so that's the
It's
last
the
day
one
of the
with
week.
Henry and Dalder. Okay.
I wanted to check what day of the week that fell in. I will have to remember that and do my my best to attend when I am here.
Yes, you'd be very welcome. I'm sorry, I didn't ask your name.
Oh, my name's Carrick Marsk.
Mr. Mask, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you, and feel free to call me Carrick.
And she smiles and nods. And then give me another insight check. Oh, shit. Okay, you rolled well. Okay. You see that
Whoopsie.
slight pause and hesitation as if she's about to ask you something, and then decides not to.
Come on, Carrick. Pull on that thread.
Is there something you'd like to ask? Bessie?
No, just it's silly, really.
Nothing's ever silly. Well, RG and that wasn't RG. Two of my companions chasing each other. Yeah, that was a little funny. But
I don't have many to talk to that have any real connection to Morgana. You see, I mean, a couple of regular faithful, but no other priest or well, dragon kind. And she hesitates.
and
Okay, give me a persuasion with your and.
persuasion. Okay. Wait, is she considered part? Is she a drag? Wait, no, I already get that bonus.
You
anyways.
get advantage probably anyway because you are a dragon, as far as she's concerned.
Not that you need it.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious, just in case. I'm just curious if I can.
Wow.
Morgani has spoken.
Yes,
23
that's
it is.
fucking-
Well, how are your dreams lately?
Out of character.
No dreams
I haven't. I have not had any unusual that I can remember. If I miss, do I miss anything I forgot?
Let's see. You've had unfortunate dreams about your mother shacking up with some new guy. You've had dreams
Well,
of
I know about that
fiery,
already.
burning buildings and such, but that's been kind of normal since Tarnstead.
RG puking on you in your dreams.
Yep. You had one very strange dream where you were
Hasn't
like,
happened in a while.
where you were like Gifton sized, and Gifton was huge and chasing you about.
That's a little concerning there.
And Dingus roaring like a fierce dragon. But
I mean,
basically, no.
Dingus
Nothing.
roars like a
Good,
fierce
good.
dragon all the time.
Nothing of
Good.
note.
No dreams of the Birdman.
I'm concerned about Corvus now.
Man.
Nothing more than anything really unusual. I mean, closest thing would be the dreams. I think they're mostly because of Tarnstead, mostly burning buildings. Why?
Oh, that's no reason. Just a bit of troubled sleep is all. And like I said, it was silly.
I'm guessing you are having some.
Yes. Started well after the attack, so I imagine it's just stress.
What were they of?
Nothing of concern. Really, I just I was just curious, is all. I should get back to my duties.
If any of concern do come up, not sure where we'll be staying before we leave, but where was the place we were thinking of again? The Lantern Light?
Lantern Light.
Believe at least for tonight we're going to probably be staying over at the Lantern Light. The King's Mercy is getting a little busy. for us to stay there again.
If I ever have need of you, I'll certainly call.
I will try to check in before we head out, because unfortunately we may be gone for a little while.
Morgani's blessings on you on your travels.
And on you in this place.
She smiles and gives you a little sort of bow.
I'm gonna bow and return, and gonna look around for a little bit.
And she returns to her little side room, and you can hear her sort of shuffling about again.
Note to self: talk to Stone and the other priest about this. See if anyone else is having any of the other. Actually, gonna make sure I catch with Gifton about this too.
Right.
Because she's the closest to tied to a god than any of the rest of us, technically. So,
Hey, I am tied to a great Fey lady. Do not beneath her by speaking of her some sort of god.
Faldia.
She's more important than them.
Yes, Lowell.
So you collected the Fado, and you've driven it over to the Lantern Light.
I probably took at least one, if not all four of the horses.
Yeah. I imagine you've got all four with you.
Yeah.
Hoss was a little bit of a pain in the ass to get hooked up without Audrey around, but you managed it. And you drive on over to the Lantern Light. As you sort of pull up, you do see it's actually while the building itself is fairly average size, it does have a very large sort of stabling and wagon shed beside it.
Mm.
And there seems to be space in there, and you're able to pull on up in. And quite immediately, a young boy, looks to be about 11 years old. He sort of runs up from. It looks like he was sitting nearby on a stool. He goes, "Need me to take care of your horses, mister?"
A couple of them can be a bit of trouble. If I can have some room, that would work.
Oh, certainly, sir. You staying or just popping in?
I'm hoping to stay. Do you know if there's many rooms available?
And he closes his eyes as if trying to recall. Mum says there's 2 rooms available.
It'll have to do. I guess I'll go inside and make arrangements.
Okay, sir. I'll see to your horses. He says, and there doesn't seem to be any fear of the creatures in him.
I'd stay out of the Vardo itself for the moment.
Of course, sir.
Thank you.
And he sort of rushes over, and he starts actually dealing with the harnessing this actually with well practiced ease. It looks like.
It was then that the murder investigation for the child that was killed by Haas began.
Yeah.
As Thaldir walks away, he's just going to offhandedly mention, Klopp, don't give him any trouble.
You just hear a snort in reply.
Now I have cleared Klopp of any accusations of murder.
Only Hoss is going to be responsible for this.
You're supposed to yell, "Clap, keep Haas under control," and then suddenly you just hear the horse restrained.
No, we just suddenly hear the sound of freaking Haas being swallowed whole by freaking Plop.
That's fine.
But,
Pretty sure
Angry
Gunner's
honk
going
on
to
the
do
other
it
end of the
because
room.
no one expected it.
But you head on in.
Yeah, I'll head on in to the inn.
Okay. As you go in, it's a nicely kept place. There's quite an array of tables scattered about. Few people in travelling merchant clothing, sort of very hardy leathers, looks like road wear, sitting about drinking. And behind the counter seems to be a brown-haired, fairly burly-looking gentleman who's chatting quite amicably with a couple of people at the bar, and you can see just through the sort of doorway a portly woman sort of pottering about in the kitchen, seemingly cooking up a meal. It smells very nice in here. You can smell bacon, eggs.
Not going to order food. I was supposed to meet people for food.
So smells so good, though.
I'll just stand, I guess, at a counter or something and wait.
Okay. So you move up to the bar, and you can see the gentleman behind the bar sort of gestures at the people he's talking to as if, be back in a moment. And he moves over to you and goes, hello, sir. Need a meal? Need a room? Just in for a drink?
I could use a few rooms. You have much.
Oh, let's see, we got 2 rooms left. They tend to be able to fit 4 people each.
That'll do.
Both of them, or just the one?
Both.
Both. Oh, certainly. How long are you staying?
One night assured. I may need a couple more.
All right. Well, you can pay for the one night, and we'll see how we go from there.
Of course. And I could use a few meals. A couple of them. Going to need to take them out to the stable, though.
Out to the stable? Why is that?
I have some friends I don't think your usual customers might appreciate.
Oh, nonsense. We're good folk in here. We don't discriminate.
They're goblins.
He looks a little taken aback at that. There's a very clear look of surprise on his face. Goblins. You got goblin friends?
Yes.
Mavis, we do we room goblins? And the woman in the back sort of yells back through, but goblins don't. I mean, if they came through, maybe. And he looks to the 2 fellas at the bar and goes, "Either you mind goblins?" And one of them sort of shrugs a bit while the other goes, "As long as they keep their hands to themselves."
I'll make sure they're behaved.
Oh, yeah, I'll bring them in.
Thank you.
Oh, sure, you don't even mention the fact you have a centaur.
We don't
Yes.
let those kind in here.
Filthy
Centaur
horses.
is someone I just like to introduce while everyone's drunk.
And watch the beatings ensue.
I'll put down a few. How much for the rooms?
That's what Ali's desperately
Meals.
trying to find right now.
So a determined number of money is mentioned.
Yes.
And thus
he
a
asked you
slightly
for
larger
money.
amount is put down.
And you are
on-
generous as per usual. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And we will determine this at later time. Works
Yeah.
for me.
Marvellous. Good transaction.
And then Theldir will head back into the stables and bring his goblin companions.
Okay, so the goblins are, of course, a little nervous, and it turns out it is 5 silver pieces a day per person.
Okay.
Oh, it's a lot of sin.
Yes, it's modest. It's a rather nice place.
Per person.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
And you sort of coax the goblins in, and they chatter nervously amongst each other as they stand by the sort of door. And you see the man behind the bar sort of gesture you forward as if like, go on, bring them over.
I'll lead them Forward.
I apologize. All I can imagine is Thaldur at the door holding a treat and cooing like you would a cat cooing.
And he leans forward across the bar to sort of look down at them as they come on up. It's like, right, you two, Bono.
Can't even help it now.
Yeah, you know how to use a outdoors privy. And they look at each other, and Kex goes, "What privy?"
It's where you do make water.
Can't make water. Get water with bucket.
Right. Bathroom?
What bathroom? What?
Just say crap and pee. We'll understand this. We're freaking goblins.
Right.
Trying to be fancy with creatures that don't understand fancy.
Yeah, crap and pee.
Oh, yes. We know where to do that.
You don't have
I wouldn't believe that they know where to do
Uh,
Okay, look square to the middle of the room and go. There is no hole.
where?
Bushes outside cave, not where live.
Okay, there's a specific spot.
Bush.
It's a small building.
You pooping building.
Yes, we're very fancy people.
Humans very gross.
Yes, ES actually looks very disgusted. Kex looks befuddled.
I'll show you that later.
Alright, and keep your hands to yourselves. Do not give hands like hands. You'll keep an eye on them, right?
Yes.
They still count as people, so 5 silver a head.
I know.
Okay. Right, well, can I get you fine folks a meal?
Man, they're gonna fucking gouge us when me and Kara get there.
You're
I
going
don't
in.
know what you're talking about. You're not coming.
Look, the worst
Gifton,
part is
I need you
Archie
to
might
get
not
in my
even-
pocket.
No, it's you live in the barn now.
Live out there with the horses.
Now,
You might
I'm
wanna
pretty
see if
sure
they can
the
actually make room.
Bardo is haunted, and that is why you are hearing sounds coming from it at night.
You might want to mention though you do have a centaur in the group. Can the building handle that?
Is this a single floor building, or is this a multiple floor building?
It's actually 3 stories.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, should have asked this question.
Out of curiosity, where are the rooms?
Oh, right, the 2nd floor. I can take you up there if you want.
How large are your stairs?
What? Average stair size, I suppose. They're over there, and you can actually see the stairs from here. They're
Lower half happens to be a horse.
and the stairs look stair-like. They're not
Do they
quite as
appear to be
nicely built.
flimsy?
They don't look flimsy, but you're also not entirely sure. These don't look as these are very much more. Here is a beam, and here are the planks put into the beam, rather than the very robust stairs that the King's Mercy had.
One of my companions is a centaur.
Well, we don't judge.
Do you think your stairs will?
Ooh. And he actually looks very uncertain himself. We've always
Well, is she a heavy grain eater?
we've only had a few centaurs staying here over the years, and we've always put them on the first floor. How big is she? How big are they?
Might it be possible to arrange a couple rooms on the ground floor if I pay a slight fee to compensate others for their move?
Yeah, I imagine a couple would be agreeable with that. Do you want just the one room on the ground floor, or two?
I
Yeah, so just do both.
appreciate 2 rooms, but I can understand if you can only make the arrangements for one.
If you wouldn't mind, a couple of gold should soothe any hurt feelings.
I understand.
Alright, but we'll see what we can do. I'll take it from here later once we're sure it can be done.
Of course. Thank you.
No problem. Right, you are staying in now, or?
I have some errands I do need to run, and to confirm for my friends that we will be staying here this evening.
Okay. Oh, I saw Fardo pull out outside. Is that yours?
Yes.
Okay.
How much would I need to pay for stabling for 4 horses and to keep it there?
He shakes his head. It's included in the price. We get, well, it's basically only merchants we normally get, so kind of all worked in.
Of course, thank you.
Right. Well, have a nice day. We serve at meals at any time, so whenever you fancy something.
Kex, yes?
Yeah, yes.
Are you hungry at all?
And both nod very rapidly.
Can I have 2 meals for each of them?
No, 2 each.
They have an appetite.
Certainly. Mavis, 4 plates, please. And you hear a sort of affirmed yell in return. And, take a seat then. Or would you like him to go out?
We'll stay in and eat and then leave at that point.
Alright, be with you. Any drinks, sir?
Just whatever you can easily scrounge up.
Certainly. And he gets you a couple of, he gets you 3 pictures of what looks like to be a mead. And carries them actually over to a table for you, sets them down. And soon enough, you are served food and you're able to eat up. Meal costs for the fuck me. It's a 1 gold, 2 silver for the meals, and basically it's 2 gold total.
All right.
Spendy. Okay. And you're able to eat, and once you've done, the plates get taken from you, and you are free to do as you please. And as you're sort of eating, you do see people coming in and out. Some people just stopping in for a quick drink, others asking for a room and then being very disappointed that there aren't any.
I'm sorry, but at the very least, I have to be able to provide 2 rooms for the party.
You take up so much space. Okay, and you wanted to head out on some errands?
Yes, I'm gonna have to head out to meet up with everybody, but it's not dinner time yet, so I have to go bother Father Turner.
Okay, so you head on out and start making your way to the Church of Talan. Please don't break any more windows. And
I don't think I'm trying to cut anything, so only 2.
yeah, and you leaving the Fardo in place.
Yes, I'll leave Vardo there. I will leave it up to the goblins whether they wish to walk through the town with me.
The goblin's now very full and satisfied. Would like to go take a nap in the Fardo.
I will ask if the stable boy minds.
When you actually go out to the stables, the stable boy looks rather dishevelled. He's glaring over at where you see Hoss now stabled, and as you come on over, he sort of rubs his head and goes, "I don't like that horse, mister. He's got a mean temper on him."
Yes, he does seem to be ill-behaved. I'll have to have a talk with his owner.
Yeah, well, that one's really nice though. He just walked right on in.
Yes. My friends, would you mind if they sleep in the Vardo?
It's your fault, though, sir.
Yes, but it's your stable.
Yeah, and he sort of nods and goes, "Yeah, I'll allow it."
All right. Yes. Kux,
Yes.
please stay in the Vardo unless you hear one of our group coming.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And they scramble into the Vardo, and you can hear a bit of arguing over, who gets the pillow side at the end of the bed. As you,
I mean, it's one of those sad things that they're in there by themselves. They could each get a bed, but no, they're gonna fight over one bed.
We're told that is their bed.
yes, and who gets the pillow end is the prize.
We need
No,
to get
you
them
had
another
last
pillow.
night, not mine. But this daytime sleep's still my day.
Basically. And that's what you hear as you close the door and head on towards the Church of Talan.
And that's why you ask permission of the stable boy.
I don't know what's worse, the fact that we can go with that's definitely the argument they're having, the fact that we're both also they both have a valid point.
Okay, yeah, you make your way down the street, passing the ruins of the meaty soup bone, a couple of burned out houses, but you find your way to the church and the doors are wide open. Not a lot of people going in and out. It actually seems completely empty, though you do actually see a couple of the priests just doing some idle sort of cleaning in there.
I'll wander in and see if a priest is going to notice me.
A young priest glances up, and you see a look of recognition on his face
And horror as he runs
Yeah.
away because he remembers what happened the last time he talked to you.
And he quickly gets up and goes, "Mr. Forgehammer, are you here to see Father Turner?"
Are you here to break more windows?
Hey, few people know I did that.
Only the people in Talon know that.
If possible, yes.
Right away, sir. And he quickly scampers off. And you're left in the sort of peace and quiet of this church for a couple of minutes before Father Turner appears in far more showy robes than he was before. Not quite as ostentatious as Father Aurel wore, but clearly of higher ranking. And he smiles as he sees you, and immediately sort of walks over and holds out his hand. Warhammer, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you. Is it possible to speak in private?
Oh, of course. Go this way. And he leads you over to one of the little side rooms and closes the door behind him. What is this? Bad news? Good news?
I seek advice, but yes, it does involve some bad news.
You never struck me as the sort to seek advice from a priest.
I seek advice from you.
Well, that's different then. And he smiles and sort of offers you a seat as he takes one himself. What is it, friend?
I fear Father Aurel will escape,
And
if he has not already.
his face falls a bit at that. Aurel, what makes you think this?
I'm back.
I have heard it on good authority that he plans to do so and will carry out sizable devastation upon Colthwaite.
Colthwaite and the Holy City. What is this authority? Are you able to share?
An angel, supposedly.
An angel, another one?
Yes.
Your group does have a way of attracting those, it seems.
Far more than I'd like.
He looks like he
Plain Carrick.
does not want to comment on that and goes, "Oh, yeah, what is it? One of Talon's? I suppose if one of the teller has warned you, then it's wise to act on it."
Appears to be independent.
Independent.
So he claims.
But there's no such thing.
I wouldn't know.
Sure, this is not some trickster, some guise.
Oh, I'm very sure it's a trickster.
You are not making much sense, my friend.
I believe it's an angel of mirrors, formerly.
Formerly. A devil.
Maybe. I am not well versed in theology or how to define these things.
You should not bandy such things, my friend.
But I trust its claims, especially for the price that was paid.
I would not trust any word from a deceiver like that, but if you believe so, wait, a price?
It was not my price to bear, nor my decision that was made.
One of your companions?
Yes,
I will pray for their soul.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Still,
Which one is a moot?
no matter the source, I appreciate you telling me this. You say May have escaped already, or is going to?
It was not clear on exact timing.
Unfortunately, I do not know where that escort is, but I can certainly try and get word to Colthwaite, to my church.
That may be for the best.
I think I shall make a trip to the garrison and see if I can hire their communication services.
It gets worse.
No, worse how?
I'm also fairly sure that there will be an attack on Surtur by an army of Goliaths.
Yes, it is worse. Okay. Have you told the garrison of this?
Yes,
Okay, and they're doing something about it, I hope.
yes.
Are you going to do something about it?
That's the problem. I'm not sure I can do something about both things.
I see. You're not sure which to turn your attention to.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you are the group that took down Aurel, but you've also shown yourselves to be rather apt at dealing with the Goliaths. Are you looking for advice?
Indeed.
Where do you feel you can make the most difference? Do you know what kind of response the garrison is providing for Sedur?
All my instincts tell me I should go after Aurel. But I can't tell if that's just because I want to avoid a larger fight.
I suppose a smaller thing that you know how to handle already might be more comfortable than a large terrifying force with potential unknowns.
But if that city falls because we ignored it,
That is... I mean, Sedur is one of the larger ports along these southern borders.
I fear the rest of the group looks to me for leadership.
And that weighs heavily on you.
It's a responsibility I did not wish to bear.
But bearing it you are.
We all play the roles we must.
Well, have you discussed this with your group at all?
They know the situations, but not my feelings, aside from wanting to go for Aurel.
What has led your success so far?
Luck.
Luck. Well then, I personally don't believe in luck. It's just a formula for intuition and, well, good decision making. I'm afraid I can't advise you on this, my friend. I don't know what is more important. I don't know what is at greater risk, but I do trust your gut. I think you would make the right decision, even if you doubt it yourself.
Tell me more about Colthwaite.
Colthwaite. It's been quite a long time since I've been there. It's a grand city. Not the modern mastery of building that Wyndon is, but, well, it's a lot of old architecture. Very, very beautiful buildings. As you might know, it's the centre place of my order, of the Judge of Tlan. Our grand cathedral's there. And a lot of the city's business revolves around us. We get a lot of visitors from other cities, other towns, looking to dispute trade settlements. We do a lot with the more important injustices. Those that would take many lives tend to be sent there for greater judgment. You know, important matters. It's where a lot of our priests are trained. If they can be sent there, they are. We're not too fond of just the apprenticeship that a lot of the other churches practice.
You said you didn't know where the convoy was going, but would it be safe to guess that that would be their destination?
I would assume it. I mean, if they're taking Aurel for any form of justice, I would have thought it there, but considering how little they've decided to speak with it, if they want to avoid. And there's a look of guilt on his face of, speaking ill of his own church, but he continues on. If they wanted to keep this out of the public eye and just let it be forgotten, perhaps not cooperate.
Is it possible he would have allies there?
I imagine so. Many of us make friends and companions there. And he was a charismatic man.
And they want to keep it quiet so his friends might not know.
Possibly.
Try to speak only to those you trust, then.
Yes, I will be a little more select in who I inform than I'd intended.
I am sorry to bring this burden upon you.
Well, always an exciting visit from you and yours.
I wouldn't be surprised if Gifton stops by at some point, but...
It will be nice to
Thank
see
you.
her. So, I hope you've all been doing well. I hear you're a lord now.
Yes, they did make me that.
I'm sure you're quite pleased.
Just a sidelong glance of... We both
Dead-eyed
know
stare.
Yeah,
fucking sarcastic, don't we?
yeah. And he smiles a bit and he's back in his chair and goes, yes, unasked for positions of power are quite marvellous, aren't they?
It's your honor right now, or...
Yes, please don't. I've been getting enough of that from the other priests. Never expected they'd treat me quite so differently.
Well, you've done what you can. Hopefully your town will recognize that you are not the man who once led this church.
I hope so. We have lost a lot of our flock and I cannot blame them.
Thank you for your time. I know
Always.
you must be a busy man.
Well, I always have time for you. So, and he sort of stands up, sort of assuming that this is coming to a close, and you see him sort of straighten out his robes. Shall I see you out?
Certainly.
And he opens up the door and starts walking along with you, and he goes, where are you staying?
We've got some space at the Lantern Light.
I'll see if I can hire Meredith's services and make some calls, and I'll bring you a note of some names that might help you. And see if they're still there.
Thank you, my friend.
Of course. You have a good day, Lord Forgehammer.
Your Holiness.
And he gives you that wry smile of, you bastard, as well, even though I deserve it. And nods his head and heads back into his church.
Oh, they're like my favorite new couple.
New.
Gifton.
Ah, shit, I opened my mouth.
Yeah.
Hi.
Gifton and Ardy, you get your shopping all done. And
I'm assuming we're just making arrangements for food stuff.
Yep.
And
You make arrangements to get it. Are you going to pick it up, or are you going to assume it's going to be delivered to the Lantern Light?
we're gonna assume it's gonna get delivered to Lantern Light, and then
Yeah.
we'll just make arrangements from there if we have to.
Okay. Yep, you can get that sorted.
Yeah, we'll just make those kind of arrangements, and That way we can just do whatever out of character amount we decided because
Yep.
we haven't decided out of character.
Yeah, you guys are free. Feel free to sort out the feed and such after the session. Don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to. Since Skipton was a social butterfly through town, I'm gonna see if anybody around town, while we're just kind of different little shops and stuff like that with our I just gonna see if anybody can tell me if they've ever heard of how much music boxes are.
Okay. Give me 3 investigation rolls.
And where you'd even find such a thing, because it's just something. She's shopping, so she's having some fun. So I'm not gonna find anything. I'm not gonna find anything, and then I'm not gonna find anything.
Okay. So asking around, a couple of people are entirely uncertain. You do get a couple of words of, oh yeah, we got one of those. It's a family heirloom and so on. Not entirely sure how much it's worth. Priceless to us. That kind of noise.
Well, I'll be like, I don't want to buy anybody's family heirlooms. I'm just wondering, like, do you know how much they usually go for?
And
I wouldn't mind getting a family heirloom myself someday. Is basically
and eventually, as you're sort of picking up some leather and such, you do. It's actually one of the sort of other customers there. They go, oh, music box, yeah. God, I think my cousin was able to pick one up for about 1,000 gold pieces or so.
Oh wow!
It's a real expensive item.
I bet.
Yeah. It's not.
Nice conversation piece, though.
Yeah, it was lovely. Little thing.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if he meant the music box was a lovely little thing, or if he was talking to Gifton. So she's just gonna be like,
yeah,
let that one go.
There's a little uncertainty in the conversation himself, really.
Yeah. I'll say I really appreciate the info. I just don't want to go bothering these kind of folks if I don't have that kind of money, and I know that stuff's very expensive.
I don't know if they actually do them, but I think the only place you'd find one here is this really eccentric little gnome down near the docks. Runs this little tinker store.
What's their name?
I have no clue.
Oh. They probably don't make them.
Yes. You can probably find out where there, maybe. I don't know. I bet you they have them in Wyndon. They say they got everything in Wyndon.
They got everything there, though. But thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
I'll look to RG and go, we shouldn't go there. If it's 1,000 gold, it's a big window shop, isn't it?
More than likely. Do you even have 1,000 gold? I don't.
Alright, 1 second. Open up the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You should do that. RG will sit and wait.
Oh, 5. I don't think this is gonna be 1,000. 6.
I don't think so.
7. I will
Almost
eventually
there.
count up 47 gold pieces and 31 plat.
Not quite.
Not quite. Alright, so, yeah, I think that's all the shopping I need to get done. Oh gosh, we should probably get to the King's...
Probably a good idea, yeah.
Forever dodging the father visit.
She gives us this long look in the direction of the fine gut and goes, we have time. We should probably go see my dad. I was hoping to bring Corvus along, but he took off.
Well, I can go with you.
I mean,
but he's sick, and I wanted a doctor there.
It's not like you guys
Yeah,
have
no,
magical
it's a
communication means.
yeah, I mean, there's easy ways to contact me.
Do you think a medicine man can really help someone who's theoretically made of magic?
Well,
Is that
when
a
my
thing?
grandma was sick, I couldn't help her. And... yeah, it sounded just like that when my grandma.
Really
I
did.
could look for something and go, to be fair, I wasn't there for your grandma. I was in a cell.
Yeah, well, I just feel like there was more. If there could be more, I'd want it done, you know? And there's already been doctors seeing him, and maybe he can explain to me what they're doing with the leeches and the cuttings and the, the different things that they burn.
Kind of get the feeling from the size of him. I don't know if they'd be putting a leech. Leech is not much smaller than him.
Little leeches.
I don't think little leeches are a thing.
They're babies.
Baby leeches.
Baby leeches are hungry too.
Leeches.
Anyway, let's go to the fine cut. There's no way we could possibly reach Corvus right now.
Okay, you start heading.
I will say, out of character, Gifted knows every time she has tried to use the thing to try and coordinate, it goes through Thaldir, and most of the time he doesn't relate.
Okay.
I prioritize in between my calls.
It's management, you see.
I know, you screen the calls, so I can't just get a hold of Corvus.
Well,
You have
if
to
you
call
would
the
like-
operator.
If you would like to carry the central operating unit, then feel free.
I would, but it doesn't fit on my pseudo dragon.
Speaking of your pseudo dragon, while Dingus is sort of flapping along, bounding and such, sort of keeping up with RG, you can see that sort of his head is like swaying almost backwards, craning back, and you can hear the sort of annoyed meeps and just the occasional images of Scotch eggs in your head as the shopping's going on and on and on.
Oh my god! All right, hey
Torturing this
RG, do you
poor-
think? All right, Dingus, land on her.
Meep!
All right, look. All right. I am gonna give Dingus 2 of my gold coins. All right.
Uh-oh. Starting
I'm
the
gonna tell
horde.
him. Right, Kara, get down. Come here. Kara, get down.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
get down.
Okay.
We're not riding Dingus right now. All right, Dingus, you have 2 gold coins. Go to the King's Mercy. Ask for Scotch eggs.
Dingus bobs his head really rapidly, and then
I gave him 2 gold coins.
and you can see him sort of drooling on the gold coins as he picks them up with his mouth.
And tell Elias I said hi. Wavy face Gifton, okay?
And you're like halfway through that sentence, and he's already
gone.
taken off. Yeah.
Yeah. Just think you're gonna have one just like that.
What? Oh god, no! Don't say that.
RJ's just looking at his fly off going, that's gonna be a thing, huh?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna need so many Scotch eggs.
I don't care. I don't know if you intended Archie to go with, but you didn't get the message on that part.
Imagine if Kara gets a little girl pseudo dragon. There are going to be so many little meeps.
All right, well, we're going to the fine cut. Carry on, Archie.
we're walking now.
Yeah, we're walking now. Well, we're riding on RG.
Oh, I don't know if it's better. Okay.
Carrick's going to be going on strike for Scotch eggs.
Maybe
Archie just
could
puts
walk.
just
Seems
hold
like it's a
on.
longer way.
Kerr sort of looks down the street, looks at all of the people stomping about. Maybe if RG doesn't mind.
I'm fine with it.
All right, come on, let's go.
That tug on
Honestly,
Urgie's
RG's
there.
way more exciting to ride around with when she's drunk.
Oh, what?
From here, Tarnstead to Southwest time. Wow.
I think I've had enough excitement, darling.
Also, you have not lived until you have ridden Cassiopeia through a window.
Archie's gonna just kind of have a hand pointing up towards our goings. To be fair, I've been sober since, and then count on our fingers. so we
Southwest
go,
time.
What month are we in?
2nd week of Southwest
You're
time.
back.
Or,
Yeah, but she doesn't remember what month we were in. For any of it.
Yeah, but it's been a while. It's been a couple months.
It's been about 4 at this point.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So we'll go to the fun cut.
Right. You make your way to the fine cut, and you open up the door. You hear the little bell jingle, and Elasinor steps forward out of the back room, and when he sees you both, the 3 of you, his eyes widen a little bit. Yes. Wait,
Oh. Her response on Nickham's a sub.
Oh, marvelous! I didn't expect you all back so soon.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Hi.
How are you doing, Gifton?
How's business going?
Business is slow right now. It's to be expected, but we're getting by.
Has everything been okay with? And I gotta glance upstairs.
And he exhales a bit and goes, "It's been an experience. Your father's a fine gentleman. Your mother."
I kind of give that look of I know when he says when someone's a fine person that he has less opinions of that.
And your mother had, her emotional state has been all over the place. I'm sure she'll be ecstatic to see you. Or angry. I'm really
no.
not sure at this point.
I'm shaking my head. Oh no. I don't think it's gonna be that one.
Yes, the upstairs, please.
The screaming's been pretty frequent tonight. Pull out the stone.
Yes,
I apologize for that.
it's okay. I have no idea what she was saying.
I don't either. It kind of just came through as one word.
Well, why don't you go find out, and I'll make us all some tea.
Is there anything I can do? Like,
No,
to help
you
adult work
can
down
bring
here?
order back into my house.
Oh,
Archie's already with just calmly going up.
You brought this chaos. You fixed this chaos.
It's love to see you too, Argy dear.
She just gives a thumbs up as she's walking.
I'm sorry again, Edward.
I'll make some tea.
Alright.
Alright, and you head on up, and
Archie just, as they're going through, so I'm pretty sure you owe that guy a good outfit pro bono.
do I have to be here for this? I mean,
you and Archie want to go
You get
somewhere?
see the fireworks.
I am, of course, a very supportive husband, and I'm always there for you, dear.
How
You
about
married to
you and
this, you get to see the
Archie,
fireworks.
How about you and Archie go to the King's Mercy? I'll meet you there.
Are you sure? Because I'm here for you if you need me.
I hear what you're saying, and I would like to point out they still love me enough to not kill me.
Thank you. Okay.
Also,
I-
Dad was
I-
not invited to the wedding.
I love you more than the stars and the sky themselves, and infinitely, and you are the best wife.
Yes, best of husbands, and remember me.
Yes, I will sing you a song.
Try to make sure that Dingus doesn't get. Oh God, how many Scotch eggs does 2 gold buy? There's something that's very horrified look on.
A few.
Archie just starts counting out on her hands, like, you mean last time when he kept trying to convince people more, or how much is actually supposed to afford?
Yeah, you the both of you get over there. I'm just gonna I'm gonna slide down RG and hit the floor, and I'll start running up the stairs.
Okay, bye.
Ken sort of waves weakly after you, and after you hear him let out a sigh of relief. Right, Gifton.
Gifton's gonna quietly reflect to herself. So this wasn't the danger he's protecting me from.
Meanwhile, Razio's like, he has failed me.
Yeah.
Strike him
Like,
dead.
well,
Yeah.
one off the list.
Gifton. So you the door is open just a little crack, but that crack is more than enough for you to go in, and you step on in, and this room is slightly different from how you remembered it. It looks like Edward has shifted some of his things, and there is a new sort of. It looks like it might have been a chest of drawers at some point.
So they did something similar to what we did.
Mm-hmm. But there has been some, looks like to be a couple of holes cut out, and the top drawer is actually out, the front of it removed, and it looks like it's been set up like a little balcony.
Oh. Wow, that's way fancier than what I have. Damn it.
Nudge, nudge, Cassie.
Man, my mom got to see what we got and one up.
And as you sort of walk through the room, your mother is actually on that top drawer, and she sort of waves frantically at you as you head on over, and you see her sort of vanish as she sort of runs down through her little building and comes out the front door to meet you. And you're immediately pulled into a sort of very, very tight hug. And
I'm just gonna hug her very tightly, and just I'm not saying anything. I'm just gonna hug her.
and there's a bit of blubbering of, "Oh God, I'm so glad you're safe. I wasn't sure if you were coming back, and your father is here, and
Oh no, she started sounding like Blackheart. Oh,
Yep.
woo, 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 woo. I'm just gonna nod and just just hug her quietly.
And after a minute or so, you feel your upper arms being gripped, and she sort of moves you back a bit, and with that sort of reddened, tear-stained face, there is a look of a bit of anger there. What did you? And he dies.
Wow.
Oh,
What were you thinking?
I wasn't. But he said that Dad was alive, and then he'd tell me where. I wasn't gonna make any deals, Mom. I wasn't gonna.
Oh,
And then he said Dad was alive. And he said he'd tell me where. And I just... Dad.
I don't know. And where's Care?
So Care wants you to know that he loves and supports us both very much. But he thinks we need some time.
Oh, he's a smarter boy than you are. Come on, and she sort of grips your hand and she starts to lead you in.
I already kind of got him for what he did for Dad, but I still can't be mad at him because
I'm going to hug him and smack him about his head.
Box his ears.
Yeah. Oh, where is he staying? King's Mercy?
They're full up. I guess we're staying at the Lantern's Light.
Are you staying in Strange Inns now as well?
Oh, I don't have a choice, Mom. I'm just gonna stay in the wagon.
It's
a
because
little Scottish there.
The wagon is it?
Where my home's at right now, I might as well just stay in the wagon wherever they park, right?
Are you keeping warm? I know those things can get chilly.
Oh yeah. You know all the cloth I took with me. Oh, Mom, I made such a mistake.
What did you do? You can always restitch something if you've messed it up.
You remember how I bought all that Capet blue? And I was making all those pretty dresses, and I thought I could fix everybody's clothes while we were out with all the Capet guards?
Yes.
Well, we were in the woods. There were these two lost little goblins, and they lost everything, and it just made me so sad. And they had no clothes, and they were cold, and they were hungry, and I made them some clothes with the cloth I had, and we brought them back to town with us over to the Capets. And I guess that's really rude.
Saving goblins?
No, dressing them in the house colors.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous. Don't worry about it.
Because apparently you're not supposed to wear the house colors if you're not part of the house.
You can't own colours.
I don't understand.
That's just ridiculous.
They're really mad.
I'll have a word with them then.
No,
Oh,
Mom,
no.
don't.
Mama will take care of everything.
But
no,
the
this
goblins are off with
Oh,
Baldur. He's
let's
taking
play.
care of them. Really nice. One of them's learning how to cook from Carrick.
Good. I'm glad you're making new friends.
We're rehabilitating them.
To replace the ones of yours I'm going to kill for letting you do this.
Right. Okay.
Has he been up?
He's been sitting. He wants to get up, but I don't know. He was there so long. I don't like to see him out of bed.
I know. All right, well, she's gonna go with her mom.
Yeah, and she'll actually lead you up to. And the inside of this has actually been done up with sectioned little rooms. It looks like it's basically a mansion by your standards.
Jesus Christ, Mom's looking good. Yeah.
And
well, actually, isn't this probably the dresser that freaking Cass made my mom? Because I gave her a bunch of money to make my mom furniture.
well, your mom has
actual
micro
little tiny
furniture,
boxes.
yeah,
little
inside
tiny
the big furniture.
Yeah. Wow, Mom, this is nice.
Oh yes, Edward arranged this. It's a bit There's a lot of room. Like, who needs this many rooms?
I mean, I
Rich
guess for them
people.
it's not that much space, so they just assume that we
They don't
need
know
it.
what good they have. Right,
You could fit an army of brownies in here.
okay. And she sort of stops outside the door, and she looks at it and goes, do you, if you want to speak to him on your own, I understand. Do you want to be coming with you? Yeah,
There's nothing I'd say in front of him that I wouldn't say in front of you, Mom.
Okay, good. And
And I go, I've been trying to be truthful about what happened, okay? I promise you, it was an angel. I looked. I can see.
you're a good girl with the tart one at times. And she sort of pulls you in against her, and then opens the door up. And honey, look who's home. And Gifton, it's just a nice little room. You can see one of the beds Cassie actually made. Your father is sort of set up in it right now. He definitely looks a little more gaunt than last time you saw him. Not definitely gaunt, but clearly still getting some meat back on his bones. But the main look is boredom and frustration on his face.
Hey, Dad.
Until he sees you. At which point he gets up out of bed and he runs over to you. And
There's a lot of no.
yeah,
From Mom.
and your mother says, "Get back in bed." As he comes over and pulls you into a vice-like hug, and
I'm just gonna hug him quiet.
you can feel sort of his hand on the back of your head, pulling you in against him. And he's like, "I wasn't sure you'd made it out. I spent so long worried about you."
I made it.
Your mother tells me you've been on quite some adventures.
I'm just gonna nod.
I'm very proud of you.
What about you? What happened? I mean, I tried to dig, Dad.
I managed to crawl my way out. I suppose we're lucky in that regard. Rubble around us. There are still caps, you know.
I
But
was trying to dig you out when the Goliath came up, and
you had to go. You did the right thing. You had to go. If you had died there, then none of this would matter. I'd have nothing.
what did they do? What happened after?
They started rounding people up, our kind included, and I'd barely been out of the rubble a few minutes before they grabbed me. They took us south and a few of the villagers as well. I don't. Where's Care?
He loves and supports us all very much, but he would really like us to have a moment as a family to get over any pent-up aggression towards any issues that have recently come.
He gives you a weak smile. Don't worry, your mother's the angry one.
By the way, notably, RG's still having a conversation with the last door.
Yeah.
She hasn't even bothered to attempt to leave yet.
Yeah, Elasnor is making up some tea. He's already giving you a cup. Seems to be delaying taking the rest up.
She's probably just worrying the absolute shit out of Care.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see my my new son.
Yeah, I
So you asked.
hope you would have approved.
Of course I approved. We were all waiting.
I had Thaldir stand in for you.
The hermit.
Yeah, the dwarf.
He was a good man. Liked his flowers.
He's
Such a fucking liar.
he's been keeping us together since the group of us that got out.
I relayed that I hadn't seen Becair.
Yeah.
I lied. Yeah. They took us south and... You know what a fool he was, thinking he could fight. And he tried to lead a breakout. And
She nods sad.
yeah. There weren't any other attempts after that.
I guess not.
I didn't know.
Are there many other of our folks down there still?
5 others, mostly honeyfoots.
She nods. The Shire, you said they were taking you one at a time?
The larger folks, us, they seem to take care of the larger folk. They kept them fed, and they just every now and then just one was taken and never came back. But us, no, they had other things to do with us. There were these small passages, these dark tunnels of stone. They were forcing us down them and telling us just to wait down there.
Stone passages? Why?
I don't know. We went down and there's a chamber can't have been larger than this, and he gestures at the small room. Nothing they could reach, but they wanted us to sit in there for hours and hours.
It's weird. They didn't hurt you? Other than that they
I could
didn't
have...
mistreat you?
They didn't harm us unless we got out of line, a bit of rough handling, but I swear sitting in there, I could feel myself fading. I don't know if it was just being in the dark for so long.
I'm just gonna hug him tight.
They're still there.
The honeyfoots are still there.
Yeah.
Oh, Papa. I don't know where I'm going tomorrow.
You're still doing this adventure thing?
Yeah. You'd be pretty upset about what we probably did on the way back. Kara killed a griffin.
Wow.
Amazing sometimes what happens, right? You don't think you can.
Well, I suppose you sure showed me, didn't you?
Well, I don't think I'm showing anybody right now.
From what I've heard, you are...
Goliaths are moving to attack Sudur next. It's a city on the coast, to the west of here. It's supposed to be a pretty big assault. We sent word ahead before we got to town. That's mostly what we used our messages for. Sounds like Wyndon's sending airships. I've never seen one of those before. You imagine a ship that goes through the air? I haven't even seen one that goes on the water.
It doesn't seem possible.
Real. But they're sending armies to go try and stop them because
The man in charge here that talked to me, he He mentioned that. He mentioned you might be helping.
But Dad, I'm not sure I want to go to that big battle.
He sort of take hold of your hands, and there's a brief look of guilt on his face. Sweetie, I'm not going to ask you to stop what you're doing. I'm sorry I held you back from everything for so long, but will you do one thing for me, please?
Yeah.
Go north. Stay as far away from this life nonsense for as long as you can. Please.
I'm scared of what happens when I go north, though. I don't want to go to Sir, but I don't.
Then don't. You don't have to.
I should go for the Honeyfoots.
No, nothing good can come of you going down there.
If I go north, I look over at my mom and go, there was a priest here in town that let everybody in. The priest that opened the gates. The magic gates that let the Goliaths through.
She nods.
Being that brought you back to us and told me where you were, told me he is going to be loose and he is going north towards Winden, and I don't know if anybody's going to stop him, but I'm scared of him. I'm scared of what he can do, but I don't want to not do it, because if I don't, I'll be even more scared. It doesn't make any sense.
I know, so...
She kind of wipes her eyes a little bit and goes, can I ask you both a weird question?
Of course.
You told me, and she pulls the bow out, that Titania?
Yeah, she was... Well, she was our lady, our everything back then.
Yeah. And I didn't know about that. Have you ever heard the name Lawlin?
Lalin? No. What's that?
I don't know. But that's the name the being called me. He keeps calling me that.
Some...
I was wondering if maybe it was some old Fey word, you know?
And your parents both look at each other, and you see your mother sort of shaking her head, and, well, yeah, your mother knows your tongue better than I, and she doesn't know it.
She nods. Well, I know. Well, I'm sure it's just something to throw me off guard, right?
Maybe you remind him of someone.
Maybe. Well, look at you standing up like this. How's your legs?
A little wobbly, but I think
Alright.
I am perfectly fine.
Just gonna casually raise a hand, make the glowy motions, and just slap him for 5.
Okay. So, well, this doesn't really help the still having to feed up again.
Yeah,
you do see
is...
him sort of straighten a bit because of like a few sort of little crooks in his joints and such have been helped. Up. And he's like, oh, look at you.
Oh, let's see.
Slap your father.
Yeah.
See, like, hell, I can do a few tricks now. Did Grandpa do this?
No, I've not seen any Fae do this.
Okay.
I always said you were my special girl, and guess I didn't know how right I was.
Yeah, it makes me a little useful. I'm making sure to play to my strengths, though. I'm not. I'm not gonna go toe to toe with any Goliath.
I've been told you are more than a little useful. But yes, I'd rather you didn't.
I ride my dragon and I stay at range.
Good. Smart girl. If you're going to fight, fight smart.
Yeah, I'll try. So Mom, what's been going on with you and Elias? Or not Elias, Edward? Is everything okay? He looked like he was walking on eggshells.
Oh, a little look of guilt crosses your mother's face. I may have been taking some things out on him.
Oh, you should just take them out on me while I'm here, so that way he can have a little bit of an easier time.
We'll see how the evening goes. You'll stay, right? For a bit?
I'll stay a while. Yeah, I can visit, and I've got to go to dinner over at the King's Mercy in a bit. You're both welcome to come along if you want.
I could certainly do with getting out of here, your father says, and your mother looks like,
Oh, Mom, he can do it. Look at him. He could clear clear the tavern's roof in half a shake.
Well, I wouldn't say I could do that much. Chores, of course, beyond me. And your mother scowls at him. And
We could ask Edward to come along, and if he gets too tired, he can help get him home.
Oh, fine. You both are going to be the death of me.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on that.
And I'll go talk to Edward. I suppose I owe him an apology as well.
All right.
And she heads on off. And
Okay.
your father actually does take a seat back at his bed and sort of just pats beside him because, so why don't you tell me a bit about your adventures?
And I'll tell him all about the adventures.
Okay.
I'll tell him all the stuff I don't tell Mom.
Because
Because I have to mute what I do with her.
throughout it all, he nods along and he seems like, wow, that's very impressive. But you can see that sort of fear and worry still ever so slight in his face.
Yeah.
Corvus. So you're wandering around, and you have a pickup to make.
Yes, he thought it was at evening he had to do that.
Did I specify a time?
Thought you did.
I didn't think so.
I don't recall doing so.
Well, in that case, after his dealings with that, he will unhook his mask, put it inside his cloak, and proceed to the docks.
Okay. You start walking on the docks, and I'd like you to make me a couple of perception checks, please.
Okay. Looking for a man with a red mark on his cheek.
Mm-hmm.
How many would you like?
2, please. Okay, very nice.
Not at advantage.
I'll let you have it.
Aww.
So you
I remember the clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start walking along, and you spend about half an hour sort of wandering the docks, trying to look at people without being too oh god, I can't even say that word. Too obvious about it.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, you're watching some people loading some stuff up onto a ship from one of the warehouses, and the gentleman ordering about, he turns around, and you see it on his face, on his left cheek. Look to be tattoos. They're almost like raindrops or teardrops, although they are bright red, arranged in a pattern of 3 side by side each other.
Okay.
In prison.
He looks like a just your average elven gentleman. You can see a sort of hair that is just starting to silver, which indicates quite some age for him. But it's got a lot of brown in it still. and he's wearing some thick dock workers clothing, and it's actually a little bit strange seeing an elf in what's considered to be such a air quote lowly position. It's not an incredibly skilled labor or anything that indicates years upon years of training.
Corvus will walk up, guess boardwalk, so clicking of the cane on the boardwalk,
Yeah.
and he approaches.
Okay. He seems to ignore you. He's busy just directing people. You hear him actually yelling at somebody that, be careful with that crate. It's, delicate goods. You bloody fool. What are you doing? And getting some foul language as well, which again, a little strange to hear from one of his kind.
Salty language for a riverboat area.
And he glances at you and goes, salty language yourself, mister.
Are you the dock manager here?
Yeah, that's me, Reuven.
What?
Reuven.
Reuven. Pleasure, Reuven. Apologies. Adolas.
Right.
There's a possible pickup that was for myself.
Right.
And I was told that you may have such an item.
I have many things here. I'm going to need a little more detail.
Step a little closer. Raziel.
Alright, this way. He says, getting at one of his men to actually just sort of see things over for him for a second, as he sort of gestures you to follow him.
And he will.
Right. He leads you into the warehouse, back amongst crates and bags, and he actually orders a couple of folks to sort of clear out the area, go run these errands elsewhere. And then he stops and turns to you and goes, "All right, you're in here on behalf of my master."
I am indeed. Supposed to pick a package up from you and deliver it elsewhere.
Right, I won't ask where. I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to tell you. You don't open this. You don't try and scry it. You don't try anything.
I had the intentions that was part of the arrangement.
Good. Some people need a little reminder sometimes. Right, this is it. And he actually thumps this huge crate beside him. It comes up to about his waist and is quite long.
I thought it was going to be a little less conspicuous.
It's not conspicuous at all. It's a box.
So it is. How am I going to transport?
I don't know.
Yes, I assume. Okay. Well, this is a quandary.
Let's see. What is this supposed to be? This is let's see. It's clothing. It's some food goods, dried food goods, and some pots.
Well, we are traveling to
Again,
road.
don't tell me.
Yes.
Right. Well, it's yours to take. Have fun with that. You bring some transport. I'll get it loaded up.
Is loaded up into what I will be taking, I presume. Okay. Well, I'll see to that, and possibly in the morrow, I'll be back here to pick said item up.
On your own time.
It'll be here?
I'm always here.
Good. Well, to the morrow then.
See you around. And he basically just walks off and leaves you there.
So it's a wooden box that's waist height.
Yep.
And how long?
About twice as long.
Twice as long.
So at least 6 feet long, probably.
Yeah.
6 feet
Hey,
long.
guess what? We're transporting a coffin.
Yup. It's the first thing that came into mind.
So, Mr. Who's in the coffin, does your name happen to be Dracula, and do you like garlic?
Is Cassie going to be jealous that you went to somebody else's coffin and not her?
Oh, you know the worst part about this? How are you hauling this without asking Cassiopeia for help?
Uh-huh.
I like that you thought it was going to be a small package.
I thought it was going to be a small package. Honestly, I did. Okay. Well, I mean, out of character,
It is a air quote small deed.
Yeah. The party already knows I have to have a package delivered, so I mean.
Oh man,
It's not
there's
like I
gonna
have to
be like
hide
the
it.
box that we all sit around every night and go, "What's in the box?"
What's in the box?
I appreciate that you bought us a table accidentally, but
You're gonna spill a drink on it and watch it like sort of go through the planking.
Like,
That-
Children just hear room inside. Oi, you mind?
Wow, what is this?
What is
This
this?
was a good year.
You know, if you opened it, it might be smaller on the
Yeah.
inside. Whatever
It's
it
like
is.
a smaller box. Smaller
It
box
might-
inside.
It's
No.
probably got a single rock in the center of it.
it's
Notably,
almost all packaging.
there is no lock or anything on this. It is purely just a nailed shut crate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Corvus is just going to do a once around.
Yeah, it's fairly standard. Just the quickly nailed shut to get it shipped.
Mm-hmm.
Does not look like it's been sitting here long. Just judging by dust and dirt.
It's just an empty box that he ships around.
You know, I like to think that he really does just test people.
Yeah. This
By
is
making
Raziel's
Yeah.
box of
heavy
fuckery.
It's like,
crap.
what
He
can I
makes them
fuck
all.
with mortals with?
It's full of mimics. That's what it is. The person who opens it is going to regret life.
In two ways. One, they're gonna get eaten by a mimic, and they're gonna lose their soul.
Exactly, yes.
This is Raziel's good old free soul box.
You bring it to the bush
Or-
closer to drop it off. He goes, "Good job."
Going to
Hope
stare
it's
at
single
it
ration.
for a moment, lift his cane, tap it a couple times, and go, in the morn.
Yeah.
We'll have to deal with this.
The sound is the funk of an object that is kind of hollow, but definitely has crowded objects inside.
Yeah. And he will make note of the place where he has to go in the morning.
All right. Okay. So, I think everyone's rendezvousing at the King's Mercy.
King's Mercy.
For dinner.
Okay.
Dinner.
I'm mute, so yes.
Right. As you all start to trickle into the King's Mercy, around the same rate, give it a half hour's variance, you know.
I had to walk.
Yeah.
That's when the brawl.
You had
I stuck
RG.
around.
You
so-
don't have to walk, RG.
No,
did.
Archie went with Care ahead.
No,
No,
he
no.
stuck around.
They stuck around. RG mentioned.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was just
you were
having a lovely
delaying going. I
conversation.
realized you just never left.
We were having a lovely conversation. I was
They
making
were
Karen
downstairs with,
completely worry his
Edward.
ass off about it.
Poor Care. He feels so betrayed.
Yeah.
Don't never leave me with Archie again.
Yeah, your parents do come with, as does Edward. And as you trickle into the King's Mercy, a lot more packed than you've seen it before. There is actually a large crowd in here, drinking, hollering, cheering. Seems to be a rousing discussion going on about politics. By rousing, it looks like somebody's going to get shanked soon enough. And on the countertop, with quite a crowd watching it, is Dingus, who is covered in what looks to be egg yolk, rolling in what looks to be sort of breadcrumbs with bits of meat stuck to them, and is got sort of gripped between his forward wing leg things. He's on his back with a Scotch egg sort of held up in front of him, and he's just, as you're walking, you see him sort of just drop it into his open mouth and then just bite down and let the juice run over his muzzle and down his neck.
All right, so fair question, RG.
Mm-hmm.
You'd
Yeah.
let me down if I wanted down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting down, and then I'm miming cover your ears.
Don't worry,
Just look at her
everybody
hand,
in
her
this
fingers in
party
her
will
ears.
let you down whether or not you want them to.
I've
Edward,
already proven that.
Edward and your family cover their ears.
Thaumaturgy? Thaumaturgy? Thaumaturgy. Dingus, why do you have so many freaking eggs?
That mess suddenly goes splattering on the crowd as Dingus flails about in panic. That Scotch egg that he just bit through slipping further over his muzzle and blinding him briefly. And there are some sort of muffled panic meeps as he goes flopping off of the countertop, shaking his head frantically to try and dislodge this.
Now he's breaking windows, I assume.
Yeah,
And
I'm feeling good about myself.
Archie will look down and go, maybe only 2 indoors.
Okay, I'm cranking the volume back down.
yeah, and of course, there's quite some startlement from the rest. The all chatter stops.
And I
And,
look up at Archie and go, "You think we can find a table?"
I mean, probably. She's just
And,
gonna pick it back up.
Out from the back kitchen comes Marissa, holding a platter of Scotch eggs.
Oh my god, how many Scotch eggs do you want? And that's in character.
Did give him 2 gold.
I
So
did give him
all.
They go for a silver apiece.
Oh no!
So, Archie's actually gonna point, it's like, so, for future
He
reference,
probably
that's how we-
bartered too. Like he probably was like,
Oh yeah, he gets mate rates.
Archie will point and just say to give him, it's like, so, for future reference, that's how many Scotch eggs 2 gold buys.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and Marissa, on seeing RG, is going to run over, still carrying his platter, and sort of give you that one-armed hug while holding the platter out still.
Yep.
She'll give the one-armed hug and help support the platter with the other hand.
And you get a very, rather shameless kiss right in the middle of the tavern.
Archie's blushing at her ears.
And she gives you a wide smile and goes, "Oh, we saw Dingus, and I knew you wouldn't be far behind. It's
I'm gonna
it's
go
good
to
to
the
see you."
table
How
while they're
much trouble has
being
he gotten himself in?
That is, I think that's his 8th so far.
Okay, so, like, in future, don't give him that.
He's a paying customer.
I'm only using one-up thaumaturgy as I berate Dingus on the way over. You have to be able to fly.
Dingus meets frantically at you, and you get that internal head argument of can fly, can flap.
After that many eggs, you're not going to be able to fly.
Not done yet. More gold. Gold good.
Oh, you know, the unfortunate thing is I gave him an entire platinum piece a while back, and I'm surprised he hasn't figured this out.
He doesn't know the conversion rate.
It's a silvery coin.
Yeah, it's like those silvery coins that you give and don't get as much as a gold piece.
It's a weirder shape though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Might be worth less because it's weird shaped.
I'm just going to yell at Elias. I'm sorry for the mess, Elias!
no, don't worry. It's like having a bard in here. It's attracting a crowd.
That's
Dingus
going
is a
around.
bard now. Holy crap.
Yeah. And
Who, Bard?
He actually does usher away a few people from the table who seem to be regulars now, and they just sort of grumble at him a bit and move to the bar, and he gestures as if this is your table now.
Cool. We have a table.
Mhm.
And Marissa gives you another kiss on the cheek, RG, and goes, I'll get you something to eat, hun.
Thanks, hon. And then another smile.
And
With a
Elias,
dopey, happy smile.
Elias sort of yells after her, don't forget the rest of the group. I do assume the rest of them are coming in, and
Yeah, we're all coming.
No,
And-
we're all dead.
And then some. We've got 2 more.
Oh, and another 2?
Yeah, we picked up some goblins in the woods.
Sounds
Is
like
that a joke?
I'm just gonna look over. It's like, if you say it like that, he's gonna think you're joking.
Yeah, that's not a joke.
No, we legit.
All right, you're asking the brownie standing on their table if it's a joke that they brought 2 goblins along.
I don't know your humor.
Argyll's son go, yes, we have 2 goblins. No, we don't know if they're coming here or not. Depends if Thaldir left them back at Vardo or brought them. Not sure.
Yeah, we were told you're full.
Actually, just a sec. And she's actually going to pull out the
You're
message
full,
from
right? There's no room at the
and
end.
actually hit and go, hey, Thaldir.
Yeah, no room at the and Foldy radio crackles with RG's voice. Yeah, we're kind of
Yes.
overflowing. Get an extension.
Do you have the goblins with you, or are they staying back at the Vardo?
Oh, I'm bringing them.
Okay, apparently he's bringing them.
Yeah. Hey, did you find out where Corvus and Carrick are?
when do I
I'll
talk
cover
to
it,
him
RG.
is the question.
About
just
now,
finished
because it's
running
funny.
Yeah.
Look,
No, have
Jesus
them
Christ, there's so many
sitting there
people.
for
If
the
he
last
walks in at that
15
point,
minutes.
Argy's gonna go, oh, there's one. I found him.
All right, cool.
And she's a shit-eating grin at that point.
Nice.
I'm gonna
be some
go
food.
over to the rest of the group. Wait, did you grab Dingus? I missed that part.
No, I didn't
Or-
grab Dingus. I can't really. I can put my hands
Okay,
on
did
him.
Rating
you
him covered
get-
in it.
Did
Dingus
you
is
get
now
Dingus
sort of
grabbed?
over there by fact of being berated.
Yes.
And he's sort of meeping a bit as where are my Scotch eggs?
Wait.
More Scotch eggs were coming.
Actually, the better question is, how did he get over there? If he's had that many Scotch eggs, how can he walk?
He's flopping.
Why?
He's sort of he's waddling rather cutely right now.
So I may get to
He
over
comes
to
like
the,
kind of.
I might get to
Marissa's
the
off the
bringing
table
your
and
eggs.
fell.
You can gorge on Scotch eggs tonight, but if you have nightmares,
There's that rapid head bobbing.
yeah, you can gorge.
nightmares.
Food coma.
Food coma.
Gonna
You know,
actually
when you
look
eat too
down at
much,
Dingus.
Does that happen to you folks when you eat too much? Do you have trouble sleeping at night? I do.
I'm going to speak in Draconic.
Also, Argy's
Um,
looking like actually freaking out. Sleep.
Dingus.
Weird hooju that elves do.
Have you had any weird dreams lately? Talking Draconic. So.
Dingus sort of stares up at you, and then you get a flash in your head of
Scotch egg.
basically he gives you this weird visualization that you struggle to comprehend at first. It's like almost defying of all logic and reason. A sort of terror that you can't put into simple image. As Dingus comes screaming over a hill, being chased by 2 peanuts.
Okay, note to self, don't
Mine
feed peanuts anymore.
Charlie Brown?
He has a
Um,
peanut allergy, guys.
any that might have to do with Morgani.
Who?
There's a sort of questioning head tilt. His head goes side to side a few times, and then there's a as he spits up a bit of white yolk.
Okay. So I'm gonna guess it's not affecting him. Okay. Okay.
Let's check the other dragon in the party just to be sure.
I mean,
I'm going to
Never
start having
knew.
a good party time of. I'm going to start singing with Care and just generally having a jovial time of family night out, having dinner.
Yeah. And
So I'll do a performance.
everyone else trickles in, and you're all served up food. Nice.
Not great.
You get a little.
Wait, you're trying to sing?
Yeah, I was trying to sing.
Do
It was
you
bad.
do you imbibe alcohol, Gifton?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
imbibe
there's your
alcohol. Yeah, I'm having some honey mead with my dad because my dad.
Oh, don't worry. I'm barely doing
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, we're singing bad over on our
So
table.
RG's the one that I assume is keeping sober.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, so is Carrot because he doesn't really drink. Just having a hard time
No,
trying
you're just singing with the tone death brownie
Yes.
right now.
I'm gonna do this instead. Yeah.
Faldir,
There. At least
you
the music's decent.
you and the goblins actually bump into Corvus coming down the street, and
Did you leave him for a nap?
no, he's bringing them with.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
And,
I put them down, but time has passed.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
And,
put them down,
as
so
you-
we have to.
As you
res
get to
them.
the inn, you actually see Cassiopeia heading in ahead of you, and you're all in there, all of you. There you go,
One
group right
place.
together.
Yay.
It's like
Hurrah!
the start of a new game where you have to shove everybody into the
Yep.
tavern.
We're literally shoehorning people in.
And Gifton, you are greeted with the sight of your father drinking a little bit. Your mother doesn't let him drink too much, but he actually ends up giving Care a hug and a rather
Aw.
heartfelt sort of like welcoming into the family.
Uh-huh.
He's drunk.
He's drunk right now.
Gonna lean over to Gifton.
Yeah.
Don't think we can have any language your parents don't speak. So you're just speaking common. So they didn't kill you, huh?
Well, the night's young.
So I guess for two then.
I got a good yelling. I expect more in the future. Threats of, various things. How's Grandma? How's Grandma Lind?
I'm going to talk quieter. She threatened.
Did you give her a hug?
She threatened to raise the city that the person's in.
Oh.
I mean, creative problem solving.
I don't understand what that word means in this context.
She's lifting it up.
Means
She's gonna look like,
there won't
Tarnstead?
be a city anymore. What happened to Tarnstead?
Tarnstead again.
Oh.
Should summon Goliaths?
Tarnstead 2, fiery
Best
Boogaloo.
best breath weapon ever.
She's not going to though, right?
I talked her.
You told her
into
we're
that
going
we
there,
will
right?
Deal with it, but if we can't, I think I at least got her to decide that the whole town, the whole city should not be victim, only the one. So, I hope. I'm voting. Please don't mention any of this to my mother when we see her, because
You
Is
should be
someone
open
wrong?
with your parents. I was very open with mine. Wasn't I, Mom?
What?
Just say yes.
Sure, whatever, darling.
after Mom found out I was an adventurer, I'm pretty sure the only reason I left there in one piece is she didn't have a fry pan close to her.
Didn't you say she's living in an inn?
Yes.
How is there not a...
Because
Ow!
she was up in one of the rooms.
Oh, okay.
I mean, fair point.
Oh, by the way, everyone, this is my dad. Dad, this is everybody.
Hello, Gifton's dad.
Roger will wave.
Pleasure to meet you
Probably
all.
surprising him as well that she's not drinking.
Thank you all for keeping my daughter safe. I'll keep holding you to that.
Oh, it's so tempting.
That's probably the most polite veiled threat I've gotten all day.
Got to look out for my
It's
little girl.
actually quite easy. She doesn't take much to heal her back up, so
Gonna look
good on
at
that.
Archie and go, I'm glad at least one of us fits that. I think mine wasn't. Well, actually, I guess she didn't really veil it. So, Yeah, I guess that is the best veiled one.
I mean, to be fair, it's the
Um,
only veiled threat I've gotten today, so...
And you, Faldir, right?
Yes.
Thank you for seeing her down the aisle on my behalf.
Sorry you could not do it yourself.
No, at least it happened.
Perhaps a second vetting at a later time.
Yeah, we'll do a proper brownie one out in the woods.
That'd be nice. And Care actually nods at that.
Maybe next year on the day.
That'd be nice, yes.
Tradition.
Tradition.
All right, Gifton, what's the date?
I'd have to check. It was a Tamari day, so it was a Tem day.
It
and
is
it's
insert date
early
here.
spring.
What
It's
is
early spring at a
what
Tem day. I know that.
what day
We
of
don't
the
have
week are we at
months.
right now?
That's the problem.
Tim will be
Hey.
back from college at that time.
Let's see. I believe it's a Tell day.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a Tamari day because it was a day of
No,
love.
no. Today.
No, what date is today?
Oh, today's a Tell day. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it was the first Tem day of like the second month in spring. I think is what it was for when the brownies get married.
Yes, that sounds about right.
It's like so. It's like that weird day.
Since we're quick talking about it, and was mentioned earlier,
Are you getting married?
no. How out of character? How close is the second Hev day? Are we past it for this month, or is it coming up?
The second Hev day. I'll say it's next Hev day.
Okay, so we will definitely
That's
be
next week.
gone
We will
for that.
definitely be gone. Have we figured out where we're going? Like the Faldir?
We are
That's
going-
something we'll need to discuss.
Well,
Cass just pipes up Roadvale, Sadur.
Some of us do need to go to Roadville for reasons.
There's
I think
enough of
Roadville's
us.
kind of
It's
across the board.
best
think
place to
we
start.
have to stop at Roadvale anyway.
I think the bigger discussion is where after that.
Sadur.
Why?
There are people I know there.
Okay.
There are people you know down in the south as well. Gifton's father says.
There's people you know, perhaps.
You're always
So
a bit of a
the-
stranger, but yes, it's fair.
So there's the one where the next problem's gonna be.
We don't know where the next problem is going to be. We know there will be a problem
Everywhere.
in Sadur, and we know there will be a problem in Colthwaite.
Yeah. The problem
And
being
we know
Goliaths.
there
He's
will be
not saying
problems
Goliaths.
There are 2 airships. A ship from Autumnvale and a ship from I forget the name of the other city. On their way there already, right?
Wyndon.
Oh, those two airships from Wyndon, one from Dawnsburg and one from Autumncroft are heading to Sadur.
Do we know
Already.
how quickly
Who-
they'll get there?
Who is going to Cuthwaite if we don't? That is what I want to know.
It's the home of Talon Church. The devastation that could happen. It could shatter a good portion of this nation.
Corvus looks around to see how much is
And it
being
also a
paid
hop, skip, and a jump.
attention to.
It's loud
the
in
bar?
here. Not
Okay.
You
Yeah.
give me a perception check if you want to see, though.
While he's doing that, the gods are worshipped in all 3 kingdoms, correct?
I
mean,
yes,
like,
not so much
Air quotes
in
civilized society.
not so much in Hexenreich. Morgani focused there.
okay, in Noran
Everyone knows
and
they're real.
Brest,
so.
it's
Yes.
their okay.
Yeah.
So, if something happened to the head of Talon's church, that'd probably be felt more than just here in Brest too.
That'd be a hell.
I don't care about that. I'm just saying we know there's people going to the other one. Do we know if anyone's going to Cuthwaite? Because that scares me if no one goes.
I've
I say
asked
go to the way
Father
because it's our.
Turner.
I say we go to Cuthbert because it's our problem. We left it half done.
Cass,
Cass is chewing on something.
you said you have people in Seda.
The family?
Yes, family, or is it allies of yours from past? What's your draw there besides just having people?
I'm out of character. I'm checking on that right now. I need to
Okay.
reread exactly what I did.
It was
I
very
work
important to me.
I know quite a few of the craftspeople down in Sedur. I helped build a very large establishment down there.
Gifted nods.
I
can see why you want
I
them
don't
safe.
have my family. My family I have not spoken to in many, many years. And the journeymen I was with were the closest thing I had to family for a long time while I was outside of Tarnstead.
And what is it? A mutual kinship through profession.
When you work with people for several years on a daily basis, you get to tend to know them.
Yes.
If I can butt in, Gibson's father says, I've talked to your man in charge, and he sort of gestures his head up towards the garrison. Yeah, he says there's going to be
Bob?
Is Bobby's name?
Bill.
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 Yeah.
Or Willie.
Bill.
Shire Reeve William Tillman.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill.
I mean, he said that there's going to be thousands of extra men there, down in that Sedur place. You think the Goliaths can take something they weren't expecting to that scale?
I can see wanting to make sure your own are safe, though. I understand that, Cassie. If you want us to go there to make sure your craft people are okay, we can go there and try to defend their districts.
I also wanted to make sure that my own is safe, though, and I'd appreciate if you stop taking my daughter into huge battles.
We're not taking your daughter into huge battles.
Sounds like what you're planning right now.
Your daughter goes where she wants.
My daughter goes where she feels she can protect her friends, he says, looking at you, Gifton.
I go
And
where
we
you do the
go.
most
We
good.
can protect friends.
And she has friends that are there to protect her and help her as well.
Well, I don't expect my word to mean anything, but I'd really appreciate it if you took my daughter north.
And I give my dad a quiet hug.
And he squeezes you in return.
Is he saying north as in north or Winden or Cuthwaite?
Away from the south.
Away from the okay.
Away from Goliaths.
Just away from here. Okay.
And I will say, my father experienced a lot of things south that I will relate to the rest of you later, and it is many things to be very worried about.
I fear if we do not do anything soon, it won't matter where we go.
I think we should decide tonight. Carrick, what do you think?
I'm not sure. Both have their reasons. Both have issues. Sedur has more people going to it. The other place, we're gonna have to figure it out without getting caught on to what we're doing.
I frown and go, I don't even know where to begin there. But
that is the problem. No one knows what he is going to be doing in Cuthwaite
or how to find him there.
Or
I
how to
mean,
find him.
I
He
could
is a
try to
shadow
look
for
for Rick
everybody.
Beale. I mean, I can see him if I really focus. Sometimes I can find him if he's around, but we'd be guessing if he's in the same place I'm at when I check.
I spoke with Father Turner earlier. He was intending to reach out to men he trusted in the church and to get me information about who might be able to help us and to warn them ahead of time that something's coming.
That would definitely be useful.
Even still, the amount of time it will take to get to any of these places, things may already be in the works.
Then
That is the thing. It's whatever choice we make, it's the one.
We have
We're
to
stuck
stick
with
to
it.
it.
yes,
Well, here's the thing: we don't know when Golden Boy is going to attempt something. For
we
all we
don't
know,
don't
he
know
know.
could.
when anything's happening.
Yeah, for all we know, he could be waiting months, and we would be rushing into Colthwaite, and just by the sheer fact of us being there and poking around could alert him, and he could move on, and we would lose
That
Could.
all information.
The other thing I worry about with him, though, and I don't know if it's true for him, but Jax put a lot of thought and was very, very meticulous about what he did and how he manipulated things. And when we were here, he tried to turn this town on us. He gets into people's heads, and he has a way. And think of what he could have ready for us, waiting if he has time to plot revenge against us and the Capays.
It
Well,
also may
let me.
force his hand. If
Yeah.
we are there in Cuthway and he knows, he may slip, he may do something.
He did get angry with Father Stone, and that made him mess up.
Now, let me bring up a second point, and this is more of a strategic and tactical thought on Sadir. Right now, our group has some infamy amongst the Goliaths because
against a group of Goliaths.
well, they're going to talk to each other because they're going to tell their stories. And she waves over to Thaldir. They're going to tell each other and sing stories about the dwarf who bested a jarl. Now, if we suddenly just show up in Sadir and they aren't expecting us and we roll over them and they leave, that story is going to grow more. They're going to double and triple check to see where we are before they even think about hitting something, because if we just are there, they're going to worry about us being there, because if we're there, we're going to blunt their attack.
But
I
we're assuming two things, so but
have one other fear. The Shire Reeve said, I believe, to Thaldir that they're sending the army from Dulwood, or not Dulwood, from Wyndon. The main force that they were not moving anywhere is being sent to Sadur. Cuthwaite is right next to Wyndon, and their army is gone.
At least the heart of Barras. Thank you. Vulnerable.
Yeah. That is only my concerns, but I agree. Family is important. Friends are important. I will stand with you in Sadur, Cassandra.
we have one other problem with the assumption that they'll talk for the Goliaths. So he already seemed pretty nonplussed about keeping communicado with any of the others after getting his shit pushed sideways.
I thought he was going
So
to go challenge the Jarl of Jarls because he was not happy with his leadership.
No,
It
I
might
think
take time.
out of character, RG, did you ever discuss that you were sort of involved with the Goliaths? Like you sat and drank with them on occasion?
I have not mentioned that to anybody other than basically Gifton and Shire Reeve.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think Thaldir's aware of it because of when they came
We
for
know
the
that you
cell.
traded with them, and that's what
Yeah.
got you in trouble. That's we don't know if you traded with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Corvus will not ask that question.
Mhm.
All right.
Of course, what comes of the thing that... What if Aurel is still working with them and he summons an army of them up there?
Well,
No matter
it comes
what,
down
we
to
can all.
Sir.
Yeah, no matter what, we can assume he knows how to do that summoning stuff still, and
Well,
even
it
if he
was-
just does that type of crazy juju anywhere else, he could kill people with that because he was before.
yeah, and
If he just turns that shit to being just chaos, I could wipe him out.
but at the same time, though, I mean, the Shire is right. We made a massive difference here during the siege. We
Against a town where it was they showed up in the middle of it, though. This one they'd be coming right at the gate.
we don't know that.
Well, we don't know how they're
we don't know
getting
what's going on in Sadur. We just know they're going.
Sadur could be an invasion just as it was here.
And they could be more prepared because they might be assuming that the city's not in chaos like it was. Because they only sent what they sent, it sounded like, because they thought the Landors had paved the way for them. I mean, I look at my dad and I go, oh, and then there's an angry dog in the tavern.
I'm
Who
pretty
knows
sure
how
that
that
was
got in here?
Dingus meeps in panic as he's chased by a terrier.
Yeah, but he's lost a Scotch egg. He's very upset. That there is there's a definite possibility that we don't know how big the Goliath forces are to the south of the border. Those tribes, who knows how many of them there are?
We
And he's
knew
united all of them.
we knew information that the Goliaths were going to attack Sadir. We told who we were going to tell, and Sadir is being reinforced now. The Goliaths, if they don't have any means of knowing of what is happening in Sadir, would expect Sadir to be at normal defense. It is
Which
not
would still be a
anymore.
fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is being reinforced by two armies.
Where can we do the greatest good?
I say cut it.
I'd say killing that son of a bitch RL.
Cassie.
Cass is chewing on food and just watching everyone.
Now is the last chance to speak.
I've said what I need to say. I will go where we determine. Either way, not everyone is going to be happy. I accept that, but I am still going to help my friends.
You still say Sadur.
Yes.
Carrick.
Out of character before he answers, it sounds like someone's like chopping something.
No, it's tapping rhythmic.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not.
The DM going da
Not me. Not me.
No.
Honestly, I think we need to be on the ground in Cuthway and find him.
Gifton.
South. The border.
We haven't addressed that. That's right.
Casting her true fault.
There are survivors left. There are people trapped down there, and who knows what hope they have. I will go to Cuthwaite. I will go to Sadur. I will go wherever, but my heart says south. My father says north.
He nods.
How long would it take us to get south? That's in character.
Months. They likely wouldn't be alive by the time we get there.
The other problem is
That's the problem.
if they're being held, they're probably being held by him. Would be my bet.
This one might be scarier than Ostia.
And we've been able to handle them, but I don't know if we could handle the. Why is there a white box in the middle of the ocean?
We are split then.
But I
Oh,
think we
but
have a
this is where I think
majority.
No one asked Fowdy his
Yeah.
opinion.
No.
He's
His opinion a couple times.
He's the final vote guy.
Dalton stated his opinion multiple times on this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gifton. We will not be going south quite yet.
I nod. I will pray for them. And I will pray for your friends in Sudur that they are kept safe by the armies. If we do not go there.
If we can send further assistance there, we will try to direct it.
Do we even know where they are beyond the border?
Yeah, somewhere on the river down here.
I mean, to be fair, he
Alright,
told
you'll
me
actually
he
point and go,
said he would
he
tell me
does.
where my dad was. So I don't know if he told me exactly where my dad was.
He gave you a pretty good indication.
I could show you on a map.
Crap, this is the game about a map.
Ellie, after game, I want to talk to you about something.
Okay.
But I am going to get information from Gifton as to on the map as to where.
I did not
So,
buy a map, so.
We're going to Roadvale.
We are going to Redvale. And where are we going, Thaldir? You were keeping track.
We will go to Cuthwaite. If we can direct further help to Sudur, we will do so. If Sudur has not been attacked when we have finished in Cuthwaite, then we will try to assist them as well.
And if it has been attacked,
Then we have done what we needed to.
and I think if anything, if it is to fall, we need to assist in the retaking after.
We will do what we need to.
I will pray to Mary to give them protection. I do not know if she will hear me, but perhaps if we all do it.
Here's a suggestion. We have that island that is not at all populated or anything.
And we don't know what's on it. Like,
We don't
there could
know
be all
what's
sorts of
on it.
monsters on it.
That's true. Maybe it's not a good idea.
Tell us your idea.
We could maybe talk to the Capes to see if they can manage some sort of evacuation to the island.
I
don't
think if
think
they're
they
going to
have the
evacuate, they
forces
could
for
just
that.
take them out by boat and bring them up to Roadvale.
Possibly.
And
Better
sadly,
go
an
for a-
evacuation will take more forces away.
So, the party deciding grimly on Colthwaite, we are going to end the session there.
No, no.
Okay. Well done,
I-
everybody.
Yay!
Okay, XP. Everyone gets 680 XP.
You
13.
monster!
Rude.
I was
14.
expecting literally 6.
Oh. 13,
990.
990, yeah.
And
Allie,
for being
were you-
such good extra little players, an extra 10 XP.
Ah, you ruined the number.
Yay.
I'm letting
Well,
someone else
in
figure
that
that out
case,
because I don't want to map that.
I'll take your 10 XP instead.
Take it.
Or I'll divide it among the other players.
I'll take this extra XP. Okay, how much is
Yeah.
that total? Okay.
14,000.
Right on the nose.
Exactly
huh?
enough to level.
Yeah, congratulations on level 6.
Hey, guess what, guys? Level 1 cleric!
Woo! I guess plan that for next session.
It only required us to decide what place we were sacrificing.
I will say that was hard because as soon as like Cassie said I have friends there, I was like, shit, Gifton's gonna be like, yeah, we should fucking go there. like, up till that point, I'm sitting there going, guys, it's a big, scary hole that is Cuthwaite.
I got to make the exact opposite argument for what I actually think we should do.
Than the one you've been making all week.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's where I know RG's gonna want to go, and the one where I really think we should.
Yeah.
I hope you all had fun, even with the hard decisions.
It was good, I
That-
think.
that- it was actually really good for this because I did make a correct statement. No matter where we choose, there are going to be unhappy people.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And no matter what we have chosen, something bad is probably going to happen, and we will have to live with the consequences of our actions.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. I figured out why I had an extra hit die.